Welcome, welcome, welcome to Figure Fight Club, where collectors come to play. Discussions from Valorverse to hot toys shaped by collecting weight. Pour a drink for yourself, collect your thoughts. Join us on this journey and action-packed talks. In the club, the fight is on. Action figures shine like the break of dawn. Collectors gather around, any drink will do. In Figure Fight Club, we welcome you. Welcome with the flop, with the flop, welcome with the flop, with the flop, raise your drinks up high and let's cheers. You're among collectors and like-minded peers. From stores to conventions, we take you backstage, exploring figures from modern day to the Stone Age. In the club, the fight is on. Action figures shine like the break of dawn. Collectors gather around, any drink will do. In Figure Fight Club, we welcome you. Welcome with the flop, with the flop,
Well, hello. Welcome to Figure Fight Club. I'm your host, Abby. We have a great show for you guys tonight. So let me go ahead and bring out my co-hosts in the meantime.
Believe me when I say that FOMO's a bitch. Did you see the proportions on that Scarlet Witch? I am Illustrated.
What's up, Illustrated? How you doing, man?
It's me. It's KFG. Illustrated Figs. What up?
Wow, you went straight wrestling there, huh? There you go.
What's going on?
Not much, man. How you doing? It's a snow day for us in Carolinas, dude. How crazy
It is.
is
It was
that?
like 2 years, 3 years.
It's been like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years
Yeah.
since it snowed last.
So a whole inch.
I think it was like a good 11. Well, not an inch. It was like
Like 2.
11 centimeters, maybe. I
Something.
mean, enough for schools to get closed.
I just know in the morning it's snow photography day.
Snow photography. You're gonna take out your snow
Yeah,
troopers.
with the figs, with the snow troopers. Yep.
Well, enjoy
For
that.
sure.
We have some great guests for you guys, so let's go ahead and bring them out. Ooh.
Ready.
What up?
What's
Listen,
up,
brother.
See,
I'm here to tell you a little something about.
guys? There you go. See, we're all getting in the mood for some fighting.
I'll let you in too.
Yeah.
I always tell people measurements in centimeters because it sounds way more impressive.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a larger number.
Yes. And we got one more guest for you. We're going to showcase his photography later on the show. So let's bring him out. Figure Kingdom.
What's going
How's it
on?
going?
What's up? What's up, man?
How you guys doing?
Good, good. How about you guys?
Chilling.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. I know, right? I was just thinking that too. Like I got done working like 2.5 hours ago, and I was like, all right, it's time to party at least for a few hours. So we normally like to start the show with some pickups.
Rock and roll.
So I guess we'll go ahead and get that started. I'll start with Brandon. Did you get anything?
Still waiting on the good stuff, but I got a couple small things. Start off something weird. Got Krusty.
Nice.
Crusty. That's actually
Yeah,
I haven't.
I
Go
got
ahead.
that guy too. He's great.
Yeah,
I haven't played with any of them though. Are they actually that good that everyone's hammering for them?
they're fun. They're cool. I mean,
They're better than the old Playmates figures because they have more
Yeah.
articulation. I wish they had more expression though. Like that's the only.
yeah,
Right.
or even like a switch out head or something would be cool.
Right. Yeah.
But for what they are, they're cool. I got all the other ones, but I wasn't paying attention to these, like the new wave, and then I was just like, look over. I'm like, is that a Krusty? Oh shit! so I just scooped them up immediately. Plus the price point. I mean, like $10, $12, sure, all day, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll show these as a pair because they're kind of old, but we love our clearances, and I got these two for $6 each. So
Heck yeah.
why
I mean,
not?
that's actually a really good figure of Farouk. So
Yeah,
Those were-
they're
those-
both really good.
Those were digitally sculpted at Gentle Giant Studios, which is my day job.
Oh,
These are really
Yeah.
good for sure.
We work on Mattel WWE.
That's
like
cool.
Pretty much
That's awesome.
all of the Mattel WWE figures are digitally sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios.
that's awesome. Are you involved in that process as well?
Yeah, so I like I oversee the sculptors, the painters, and our 3D printing, all of that process. So like I work directly with Bill McKenna is my main point of contact at Mattel.
Okay.
He basically assigns us with what characters we're going to do, and then I oversee us actually making it, and then he gives us comments and feedback, and then we deliver digital files that they then make the action figures out of.
Pretty sweet.
That is really cool.
It's like a really fun job too.
Yeah.
It's
Rather
it's
do that than what I
fun.
do.
So you do toys daytime and nighttime.
That's cool.
Anything else?
Well, I got one more WWE fig today. I don't even like this guy, but I need him for the team. I got JD McDonough. Plus, it's his first fig in the line
Okay. For Judgment Day,
So-
right?
for Judgment Day. Yeah.
Nice.
So I mean, he's not you like him or not, but I mean, it looks pretty good. And they did his costume pretty nice. So he will suit the need to fill out the team. Let's see what else did I get. I got this 2-pack because I forgot it existed, and then I saw it. I got the
Oh, nice.
these
Oh,
guys. I need a
okay.
few more to round out the shelves.
Was that a game?
But I'm gonna have to switch out. Yeah, this was at GameStop. You only get one head with the Rebel Troopers, so I mean they're not all twins, so you gotta switch out the heads and put some different faces on them. But we got plenty with all the crap we collect over the years, so I got plenty of heads to switch them out with. And then I got this guy,
That's a good one, too.
Iron Grenadier. This thing is pretty sick. I do like this. He's a
That
little
is a nice figure.
little wobbly, but whatever.
Where's that? Kiki? Nothing Kiki can't fix?
I mean, he's just gonna stand on a shelf.
Gotcha.
And then to round it out, honestly, I haven't bought a McFarlane in a while. It's been like 3 weeks, so had to get one. Got the Wildcat.
Nice.
This thing's pretty cool. I dig it.
That is cool, too.
And they did this cool weird shading thing. If you could
That's-
see it.
So, that answers Dave's question right here about the McFarlane this week.
No, oh no, yeah. Here you go. Yep.
You're holding it.
Yeah. So, I was looking for. Obviously, I need the Christopher Reeve Superman, but I haven't found it yet. But yeah, these are hitting stores right now. It's this one and the other one. I forget his name. With the jetpack thing, the gold jetpack,
Yeah.
the red guy with the silver helmet. That's all I got for now.
Nice. So I'm going to go back in this mode for a second because, for the new VIPs on this show, we like to bring in surprises. So we do have a surprise here. So we're going to go ahead and bring them out.
Oh snap! It's the laser pantalone.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you for introducing me with my theme music, I guess.
Wait.
I got new theme music.
You didn't send it to me.
It's right here, baby.
Laser Pants gifting 1,000 subs.
Come on, Adam. I know this is your jam. There we go. Hi, everyone.
How you doing?
What's going on?
I'm glad you guys down in California, are still in your homes. Jesus,
Yeah. Yeah.
bad down there. Been thinking about you guys.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, they just downgraded some of the evacuation zones. So I had one right next to me, but they've actually just moved it over. So I feel a little bit better. But the winds are supposed to get crazy again next week. So not looking forward to it.
I got a futon, Adam, if you need this place to stay.
What does it smell like?
Cheese, mostly.
And cats? No cats?
No cats down here.
Oh, okay.
A recipe for disaster.
That is very true. Let's go back to our pickups. So, Adam, do you want to go next?
Sure. people are gonna think that I have money, and instead I just have credit card debt. I was just telling the guys, I got a box in from Ami Ami. I do the Ami Ami, like, they ship one box a month. It's like a pile of loot kind of thing. And I literally just got it moments before we went live. So I got the My Hero Academia Deku.
Dude,
Oh,
I'm
that's
jealous.
cool.
He's that's my plus ultra pillow.
Yeah.
Point that way over there. But really looking forward to this. This thing looks awesome. Let's see. Also got in the 1,000 Toys Sentinel, Mike Mignola, Lobster Johnson. So another one. I'm a giant nerd for these. Crazy.
If you bought that Lobster Johnson, you definitely have credit card debt.
Oh, for sure. It's
Big time.
but like just in the off chance that my wife is either watching this from the other room or can hear me, let's just not talk about it, okay?
They were
Cool.
sent to you from a friend.
Yeah,
It's
it was
0%
free.
right now.
It was at
It's
Ross,
nice.
right? I found it at Ross. I'm also a giant Berserk fan. So it's Isidro. I have the Berserk brand of the sacrifice tattooed on the back of my neck, like a giant nerd. So got him. And then I also got in Dandadan Momo, which this reminds me of my wife. So that's
Okay.
it's a very weird anime. And then the most recent thing that I got otherwise is this third-party Michelangelo. They call it summer.
Oh, yeah.
the different
Yeah.
seasons. But I actually really like it. I think this one is actually the best one they've done thus far. I was about to
Think
drop
so.
this line
Yeah.
because there are too many Ninja Turtles. But this one has more articulation, and it's actually pretty badass. Really, really fun figure to mess with.
Are you gonna get the kit for it?
I did like it's you have to get the kit in order.
Oh,
to
that
get
is with the kit on there. I
the
see. Yeah,
actual
yeah.
Michelangelo head.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise he has like a samurai top knot kind of thing.
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
I mean,
That's
I
dope.
heard really good things about those turtles too.
Yeah.
Do you have the other ones?
Leonardo and Donatello? I didn't buy like the Splinter that got
Splinter.
released or whatever. I was just gonna stick to the turtles. The Leonardo and Donatello I liked, but they don't have like thigh swivels, and it's like I
Yeah.
think they only have single jointed elbows. Michelangelo has thigh swivels and double jointed elbows, so I actually now I'm like, I kind of hope they go back and redo the other ones or something.
Ooh,
But like,
so you're
also,
buying
we
the-
already bought the other one, so we're like, yay,
I-
but shit.
I know, absolute 100%. Like
better
it's like,
articulation.
that's why I was about to drop it when they showed the pictures of Michelangelo, and I was like, ah, damn it, he looks good. And then
Yeah.
the next one's gonna be Raphael, so it's like he's gonna be the best one, and it's like, yeah, crap, whatever. It's the problems of being a toy collector.
Well,
Yeah.
Joy Toy's killing it too, and they're not stopping. And I'm like, damn, more turtles! Like shit.
Yeah, I haven't picked up the Joy Toy Turtles, which is surprising because I'm actually a big 1/18th scale fan.
Mhm.
Like I love Acid Rain, and I actually have a shelf up there of the Joy Toy Warhammer figures.
Oh,
that
nice,
I think
okay.
are freaking awesome. But
Yeah.
again, like they put out the turtles, and I'm like, those look badass. But I have so many freaking turtles already in my collection, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, have not
And they're
succumbed yet.
somehow they keep giving licenses to everyone too. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, good for them, I guess, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's selling for sure.
Nickelodeon and Kevin
Yeah.
Eastman and rolling in dough or whatever. Not
is-
Peter Laird.
Is there anything else you got, Adam?
That's basically it. Like I have some other stuff floating around, but I don't
Okay.
want to take up Phil's time because I know he got a giant haul.
There you go. Okay, Phil, you ready?
Ready? I got nothing. 0.0. Nothing.
Okay.
Phil really wants that he's seen online and he saw that it was part of my top 10 the Joe Mad death from the Darksiders video game.
The thing's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can pretend that like I can hold mine up
Yeah.
and then you can pretend like that's its
I have-
haul because he
I
doesn't
have
want.
so much stuff. I have a hard time getting new stuff.
Got
I
you.
mean, yeah,
I let him touch mine.
I've been buying stuff for 35 years, dude. It's there's a lot of stuff. My studio doesn't look like this. But it's in LA, and I don't want to be close to the fire. So.
Yeah, he's in this insane asylum right now.
Yeah, exactly. Just let me have Wi-Fi.
The padded walls.
All right, Figure Kingdom. How you doing, man? Did you get anything? I know you're not going to show it off, but you could verbally tell
Yeah,
us.
so
I
I
guess.
got the Jaded Toys Street Fighter 2. I got Cammy, and then I got
Nice.
DJ this week. So
Cammy
I'm
and
super
DJ.
pumped about those.
Yeah, they're
I got
both
those
great figures.
From, Jay's Toys and Games online.
Okay.
And then I haven't gotten it yet, but I did pull the trigger this week. I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Mezco, the comic versions.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay. The
That was
comic.
my,
yeah.
my number one in my top 10 this year.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah,
So I'm super stoked about that.
that's awesome. I'm going to go to Laser Pants next.
Oh, my turn.
Yes.
I got a bunch of stuff. I just opened this 2-pack. This was on sale on Amazon for like
Oh.
$36. I got Wang and Doctor Strange.
Cool.
You know this guy? Wong.
Wong.
I said Wong. What did you hear, Adam?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's my ears. It's like I misheard it.
Yeah, I mean, this is okay. You know, looks like him. And then I got a big pile. I've been getting a lot of stuff from China. Like, Adam, did you just talk about this thing? Oh, there's no window. You can't
Yeah.
even see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't opened it
right.
yet.
I noticed that with the package too. I was like, the crazy, like it's like a box with a flap that just has
Yeah.
like a black, like it's like it makes no sense.
Why would it says Samurai Force here, and then you open it up?
Yeah,
it says
you
it
can see
again.
It's
That was a
it's fully
choice.
shielded. Yeah.
Did you get it with the add-on pack too?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I think what is this the add-on pack right here?
Yeah,
With- yeah,
Add-on
like the
pack is a
skateboard.
bunch of stuff you don't probably need that will probably go into like a Ziploc bag or a bin, but it has the Michelangelo head, so that's
That's what you need.
Yeah.
I've been on a CT Toys kick, and I got
Oh.
this thing. I never got the SH figure arts. I never would have bought it, right?
Yeah.
But then I see this for 25. I'm like, okay, I'll
worth
I'll
it.
break the law for that. So I got
I
that.
think Brandon, you have that one too, don't you?
Yeah, that one's like decent compared to the other ones. It's pretty good, but it's like the Wolverine's like the best one. Like
I didn't get the Wolverine.
my knee popped off on that one. I had to glue it back on.
I think this is a box full of feet from Harbinger, the Savage
yeah.
Crucible guys. Yeah, I got a box full of feet. And then I got that naked lady that Brandon
Nice.
had on the last show. That came
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
That was
It's
quick.
a really good figure.
Jeez.
Very good figure, dude.
Yeah, this was what 5K? Was it 5K, Brandon, or AliExpress
yeah,
or something?
yeah, 5K.
5K.
Good luck with the pants if you want to put those on. It's stupid.
The
hard.
what?
The
The
pants.
pants. There's like yoga
Ah.
pants. Yeah, it's crazy.
He's not gonna put the pants on.
Then I got this.
Oh. I'm
Nice.
waiting on mine too.
Dude,
yeah.
so when this,
Battle Cat.
yeah, Battle Cat. When this first dropped, I was like, I don't need another green lizard. I have like 5 already. And then my buddy Renchnato was posting pictures of it, and I was like, well, maybe I do need it. And so I picked him up before he sold out. But yeah,
It's pretty cool.
that's everything, dude. 2025. I was like, I'm gonna back off buying so many figures this year. I'm gonna put more money into dioramas because, Abby, did I tell you I'm building a 1/12 scale city right over here?
I want to see it.
It's not ready yet,
yeah.
but I am.
Under
I'm building a
construction.
1/12
Yeah.
scale
That would
city.
be awesome.
I'm building it. I'm erecting buildings.
I've seen people do that on like shelves where they have like a 12-foot or 13-foot shelf coming out of the wall, and it's like
Yeah.
up in the like top part of their like wall, and it's like wall like it'll be like 15 feet all the way straight across. They have like a road and then houses and like
Yeah.
shops. It's really cool.
Yeah, I got 9-foot ceilings here, so that's not gonna.
I've seen
That's
what High School Creations has been printing. Those
Listen,
tall,
I bought something from him.
yeah.
I have given that guy way too much money. I backed his Kickstarter. I got a dial from him years ago, a corner store diorama. That's all
Oh
going in
yeah,
the
that's
city.
dope. Yeah,
And
that's
then
dope,
he
yeah.
put up this 5-story tall 3D printed building.
Yeah.
Oof.
I got that.
What?
He hasn't shipped it yet, but I don't know when it ships.
Abby and Brandon don't need to pay for shipping from him because he's a fellow Carolinian.
That's right.
Oh.
Yep.
Wait, don't you already have stuff from him, Brandon?
I got the Wall XD.
Did you
I got
pay
like,
for shipping?
I got 4 of them. Yes, I did. Well, that came from.
What the hell? You could have just met him
I
across
mean-
the street, bro.
That would be dangerous. I would like my whole paycheck would just be like, here you go.
You know, I
Just in
think,
his lab.
I saw it's chat in here earlier. I don't think he believes you on the 112 scale world.
That's fine. I'll have a
That's
video
cool,
up
though.
at some point with the whole thing built. It's
Okay.
gonna be great. Abby.
Nice.
Why am I still on the full screen?
I don't know.
That's my
I'll show
home.
off my quick pickups. Yeah. All right, I got this. The tumbler. Thank you.
Don't
Amazon.
like it.
You know, honestly, this I haven't opened it yet, so we'll figure it out if I like it or not. To be honest with you. Then I got a Valaverse box.
Chill.
Chill.
I got a few Pandoras.
God damn.
Then I picked up.
With no points, he paid full cash.
I did pay full cash. Yeah.
So you're just army building Pandora?
I'm just army building Valaverse. To be honest with you, I probably have like 7 or 8 boxes upstairs of like unopened Valaverse figures. I could probably open my own store for Valaverse and have inventory for like a good like 2 months, 3 months. If
He wants a
even if
a
it's going
plaque
well.
to go on the wall. Best
Are you-
customer.
Are you trying to make Bobby your friend?
Not. He texts
Let me
me
tell you,
every
it doesn't
day,
work.
dude.
It doesn't work. All right.
No,
I've
I
been
am
doing
army
this for
building
5
these guys.
years. It doesn't work. He still doesn't like
we
me.
only make fun of Ryan. Like that's what happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
Found another one. There you go, right there. So I got a few Pandoras. Got the heads, the hands. Who is this one? Atlas. And then the other Pandora. So I haven't opened. It literally just came in today. It was late due to weather. But I haven't opened any of it. So hopefully one of them is a bloody one, and I could finally win the lottery on that one. Because I think I bought like 15 bone collectors, and none of them were bloody.
For that price, you could have just bought one off of eBay.
Well, the thing is, I'm also using the parts. I'm using the parts for a lot of stuff too, though. Like I've turned in, Savage Crucible, easy connection. I am gonna open one just to see if it is, that lucky.
You can just
No.
make one with some of
Nope.
that Blood of the Blood Gods paint and just kind of flick it on there.
I'll let you do that because I don't go near paint.
We do at work a lot of the times. The guys will use like a toothbrush dipped
Yeah.
in paint, and you kind of just flick the
Yeah.
toothbrush bristles, and it does a nice blood splatter.
I like to use a small little bean, and then I just flick the bean
Yeah,
at the
until it
figure.
bleeds.
It's
I'm
the
looking
only
at the.
bean you've ever actually flicked, too.
I told you that in confidence.
Sorry, my bad.
Can we
Okay,
edit that
let it
out,
go.
Abby? What he just said?
Yeah, we're not live right now, so it's fine.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
You know what? I do have a giveaway. I should do it probably, right?
Oh, snap.
So let's go ahead and get that on the screen and start collecting some hashtags. If I can figure out how to get it on the screen. It's Friday. My brain's shutting down, and I'm drinking. So.
It's the music that's playing. It's putting you to sleep.
Well, I think it's also the fact that I went to bed late last night because for some weird reason, and then I woke up super early this morning. So hashtag dragon, and you will win a baby dragon. I'm just
I
kidding.
thought
You'll
you were-
win.
I thought you-
Oh shit! I should probably maximize this one, huh? Oh, wrong
I thought you were
button.
giving away a Legion's Con dragon when it comes out.
Yeah, no. Here you go. You will get a what is this? Rhode Island Comic Con exclusive. Legend of the White
Yes.
Dragon,
Yes.
Valaverse
Mhm.
figure. And it's this is not a real signature. It's just on the packaging.
Yeah, he's not alive to sign that.
Yeah. So here's the back. It's nice and see through. Good luck to anyone. We'll just let that sit for a
Marinate.
little while. Marinate. Yeah. And now we could talk about the Curse Dead stuff. But before we jump into that, let's play a video because I like playing videos. Actually, I don't like playing videos. That's actually
Copyright
really
strike.
annoying. Don't you dare do it. Don't you dare.
Somewhere between the living and the undead exists the Cursed Dead, a modern reimagining of history's most infamous monsters. Vampires, demons, spirits, and shapeshifters. Beyond death, these are the Cursed Dead. A collaboration of toy industry veterans with over 50 years of combined experience, bringing you the hyper-articulated 112 scale action figure line of your nightmares. Horror brought to life in articulated form. Supernatural paint deco. High-quality soft goods. The Cursed Dead, Wave 1, now on Kickstarter.
There you go.
Now
That
on
looks really good.
Kickstarter.
It's currently on Kickstarter. We're going to go ahead and drop that link in the chat. Brandon, do you have it up by chance?
Yes. Let's see.
So if you want to share that, that would be awesome.
Here.
Boom! Look at that.
But,
It's higher than the last time I checked. Woohoo!
There you go. So, but before we jump into the Cursed Dead, Phil, Adam, you guys want to give a little background on yourselves?
Sure. I'll go first. My name is Adam Van Wickler. My Instagram handle is here on screen. It's playing with myself. My day job is I work at Gentle Giant Studios. I'm the creative director. This is my 19th year at Gentle Giant Studios. I've been in the toy industry since 2001. So I'm maybe older than I look. And I basically oversee making toys, like toy prototypes, but for other companies. Like Hasbro hires us to do toys, Mattel hires us to do toys, Diamond Select, Dark Horse, Bobby Falla has even hired us to make some toys, of which I don't think he's announced or shown them. But we could talk about that when we're on 3POA later this month, and he could decide whether or not to say anything. But yeah, we basically do work for hire for other companies, and Cursed Dead is a passion project of myself, Phil Ramirez, who I've known through the industry and respected for even longer, and Josh Falcon, who's the younger brother of Jesse Falcon and Phil's best friend. They actually have some bands together, and that was Josh's voice that you heard in the video. And if you watch the Crankle Christmas song video, that's actually, like, Josh is a sound engineer, so he did that, but Phil actually wrote the lyrics and does the singing as Crankle in that video, and then Josh put it all together. So that's me, and that's Josh. Josh and Phil both have social anxiety, but Phil was nice enough to join me on podcasts.
Well,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah, and I'm Phil Ramirez. I've been working in the toy industry since 1990. Sculpting action figures, designing toys. Started off with like Ninja Turtles, Wave 3, I think, around there. And then from there, went to Toy Biz, McFarlane, and I've just been designing and sculpting toys my whole life. Started in 1990. Yeah. And this is a passion project. I designed all these guys. I sculpted all these guys. And yeah.
Track Phil down on Instagram, guys, because if you check out his page, it's literally like it's a time travel like through toys that you've probably had when you were way younger. And yes, Phil is an old man. He also
Phil,
drinks
ask
blood
you-
to stay young.
Phil, I'd like to ask you about your days at Toy Biz.
Sure.
We discussed this on the 3POA podcast one time. I was wondering if you were the one that designed and maybe sculpted the Punisher figure that transformed into a pistol.
Did not. I know the toy because that's the one that is the. Yeah, I know the toy. Didn't do it.
It's the Dick Blaster.
Yeah, the Dick
That's
Blaster. Yeah, I didn't do the Dick Blaster.
Were you there for that?
Yeah, I was around for it.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't do it though.
Yeah, I don't know who sculpted that.
But the guy that did it, like he knew what he was doing, right? Like,
Well, probably not because they give you like a breadboard back in the day when you sculpted things with your hands. They would give you a breadboard that was like a working model, and it was kind of a generally simplified version of what it was going to actually do. So he might not have known that the thing was going to turn into a Dick Blaster. He might have just thought it opened up and a gun came out somewhere else, maybe in the abdominal region. But for the most part,
Oh yeah, Tummy Blaster's way better.
well, I mean,
I thought it was going to be intentional and he was going to be my hero, and oh well, that's okay.
We'll figure this out, Laser
Okay.
Pants.
Thank you.
We'll do a deep dive. We'll figure out who did it.
It means a lot to me, Adam.
I've seen sculpt. The guy you want to talk to is probably Steve Kewis.
That's what I was just about to say, Phil. Do you think it's Steve Kewis? Because he
I would
did
guess
so
either
much
Steve
toy
Kewis
business.
or China.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I bet it was a mix, because I bet like the Punisher, like the more organic figural parts, probably Steve Kewis, and then I bet China did the rest, and then it's just
all the engineering was done
the
after the fact, for
happy
sure.
accident that we got a Dick Blaster out of it.
So you might
They'll like
the guy
this.
that you're looking for might be working in a Chinese factory. He might be the guy who like
That's
was
your
high-fiving
hero.
everybody and saying, "Guys, I just got through a Dick Blaster."
I would love video of Laser Pants going into like a Chinese factory and like they queue up like what is it, like Foo Fighters, like There Goes My Hero,
This
and
guy.
it's like slow motion footage of him just walking up and hugging the guy.
Yeah.
Like a Academy Award winning documentary film there.
This is good stuff. This is good content, guys.
Yep.
That's awesome.
All right, so let's go through the Cursed Dead Wave 1.
Yeah, so we have 9 figures in Wave 1, 5 basics and 4 deluxes. They're all based off of this kind of skinny vampire body that we developed. Articulation is very important to me. I know I probably mentioned that like 15 times already, but basically Phil wanted to do like a creepy skinny body first. He did actually work on multiple other bodies at the same time when we were originally talking about this. It's just that the drinker, this vampire body, was the furthest along, and that's what we decided to launch with. And it was very important to me to be able to basically like fold this figure in half. So not only like Phil was designing this cool looking creepy skinny guy, but also designing it with articulation in mind to be like, yo, this thing's gonna move like you wouldn't believe. So the torso alone has some stuff that has been done before, but hasn't always looked good, in my opinion. But we were able to kind of design our character around the articulation a little bit to make him extra creepy. So he's got ball joint at the waist. He's got a traditional kind of ab crunch. Then in like where most people would think it's just like a ball joint up there, it's actually a double trench system. So it's a floating peg and then a trench forward and then a trench side to side. So it adds crazy like lateral movement as well as forward and back movement. So like this thing can like do, you know, that Spider-Man crouch very easily, just based on the torso joint. So
That's awesome.
the joints.
I
are
love
there.
that.
So
Yeah.
Like triple articulation in the torso.
yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
all of the figures. So the basic figures all are based off this body, and then there's three. They all include three sets of hands, which are basically fists, kind of open. Like I always refer to them as Force lightning hands. Like when like Doku or Palpatine do Force lightning. It's like that kind of like weird claw look, and then also gripping hands. So you get three sets of hands, and then everyone comes with at least two heads. The drinker itself, which is our main character, actually has three heads. So he's got the closed mouth head, he's got the open mouth head, and then all 8 of the 9 figures come with articulated jaw skull head as well. So you can
That's
kind of make your own like army builder that's like a skeleton-ish zombie kind of looking character, because that skull head will be painted to match whatever character it comes with. So
That's
if
dope.
you scroll through the Kickstarter campaign, you see there's the paint master of the basic figure drinker. But if you scroll down right below that, there's that line art image, and that shows you what you get with each of the
Okay.
figures. So the line art in general is like a guide of like, hey, this is what comes with each one of these figures. So the basic figures, that's what you're looking at. The deluxe figures have more unique tooling going on. So they either have like additional heads, hands. In the case of Dr. Crane, which is our fly guy, he actually has a lot more tooling. He has a whole new arm, his head, a foot, a hand, as well as like this weird fleshy cuff hand of his former body that he's grown out of. So he's the only figure that does not actually come with the skull head, the articulated jaw skull head. And our thought process behind that was mostly that if you buy him, he's the most unique tooling in the wave, and if you buy him, you're likely going to keep him as Dr. Crane. So everyone else has that skull head otherwise. The Jinn here that you're on right now, he also comes with that additional the lamp, which Phil designed, and it's got some really cool element. Like, Phil, do you want to talk about the lamp? Because like you'll do it more justice than I will.
I mean, it's a skull head with all the metal parts around it are sculpted to look like very, very old artifacts, and everything's kind of drilled into the skull. So there is a human skull in there.
And it's
broken up.
articulated as well, so it's hinged back by where that little handle is.
Okay.
So the demons, which are the Jinn, which is like like a genie, and then hate and rage are our demons, and they all like. Phil, do you want to tell them about like the orb element that's with all of the specific demon characters?
Well, there's a bigger story. The whole thing is kind of a big story, but we have to figure out if we get this made first. But all the demons have a blue orb within them, either in their head or the Jinn has one in the lamp. It's just a little nod.
So that was actually one of my questions for you guys. Is there a backstory to each of the characters, or
there's a short story in each one. The concept is that they're the characters are all like a standalone episode of like Tales from the Crypt. Imagine. So it's like everyone has their own story. Everyone could be their own short B movie or full-length B movie. Every monster has its own story, and they're all written. They're all
the Blue Balls is not the only funny nod. Wait until we get down to Dr. Scante. Phil has a great sense of humor. Like, he sounds very monotone and dry, but trust me, this dude is quite hilarious. And if you read about Dr. Scante or know a little bit, if you Urban Dictionary some of this stuff, and why don't you tell him about Dr. Scante, since I'm jumping right into Dr. Scante?
Finish up the rest of them, dude.
All right, fine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is
I'm obviously
Gordy.
on crack.
Yeah, but I mean, all the stories look like they're right before the pictures. They have the nice short breakdown of the backstories.
I'm a
Well,
giant
I
nerd
read all
for,
of this
for
already.
file
Just
cards, GI
checking.
Joe bio,
Well, for anybody who
Valiver, like it's like like those bio cards, like that's important to me, and I love the idea of giving people enough story where it's like if they want to use it for their characters, awesome. Like it's it's to get you excited and interested, and it's your like get you into that character. But you can also disregard and use any of these with your other toy lines. You want to make them fight your Action Force figures. You want to make them fight Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer. You could do that. Like it's like we don't care where you're putting them, whether it's a Cursed Dead shelf or it's mixed up with other 1/12 scale collectibles. Like whatever you want to do is cool. But the bios were an important aspect to me, and like Phil is the brains behind the design of these characters and the bios. Like I had a little bit of involvement, but he likes to make fun of me because it's stuff like spray a little coffee on these or something, like it's like I'm my ideas are anyone could have come up with them apparently. So Phil is the brains, and then I went in and I just edited all the spelling and grammar.
Gotcha.
Try to keep the story short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah. Tell them about Gordy.
Gordy is a kid who was killed and came back. He was killed in a pumpkin patch. Comes back as this thing, and every time he kills one of the people that hurt him, he gets a new face on his pumpkin. So if it was a movie, by the end of it, there'd be faces all the way around the pumpkin. I wanted to give him a couple of kills, so he's got 3.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where one face starts and another one ends is really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, and Gordy again also comes with the articulated jaw, skull, head. I'm posting pictures as we go of a lot of this stuff. I just posted an update today that had some additional pictures of the drinker that also have the skull head. So that's in the update section. But basically, we're posting. We wanted to keep the Kickstarter campaign itself pretty clean looking, so that way people could just see the basics of what's there. I know a lot of us, like myself included, are like super into this stuff and we follow along, and it's like you could probably make sense of it. I wanted to keep the campaign page itself making sense to like my grandma. I mean, God rest her soul, she's not with us anymore. But like someone along those lines that can actually just scroll through the page and can kind of tell like, hey, this is what the paint looks like. This is what you get in the package. Here's the little story. Here's the pricing on the side. And then anyone that's really a lot more interested in these, if you go through the Kickstarter campaign updates, and if you go through our Instagram page, or we also have a Facebook page and a Facebook group, it's all the content is posted across those platforms. So whatever platform you use, just go take a look, and then you'll see more pictures of these characters, and more pictures will be posted pretty much on a daily basis over the course of this month.
And Adam, you have some in hand you could showcase too, right?
Yeah, totally.
Oh yeah,
A bunch of
let's see
stuff.
that.
Yeah, once we scroll
Yeah.
through all the characters, I'll start. I'm happy to show off what I have. I did just ship off 3 of the figures to a toy photographer, so I don't have everything in hand, but I have a handful right here next to me.
There you go. Okay.
So yeah, these are the Demon Brothers, Hate and Rage. Phil, do you want to talk about? We should probably explain the differences between. So we have our monsters and our demons, and like how we're going to differentiate that also with packaging.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to do it? Fine. So there's two. So the Cursed Dead is all like monsters in general, but there's kind of 2 different categories that we're of our characters here. So there's going to be demons that are like the demon spirit kind of realm that are like otherworldly, and then there are going to be the more traditional like monster creatures, and it's like butting heads. It's like these guys are, the idea, like what Phil was saying, is it's anthology, so they can be kind of standalone, but at the same point we would love to have like whether this is a comic book or an anthology TV series or a movie or something, and pipe dream someday, the idea would have that kind of Avengers Assemble moment where it's basically the creature monsters versus the demon ones. So like that's the idea. It's like this fight between all of these guys, and these demons. So you have hate and rage. It's the red demon and the black demon. There's a really cool little backstory to them as well. And again, they both come with that articulated jaw skull head. And these are some of my favorites with the skull heads, and I think I'm going to be posting those this weekend. Hate and Rage, because they are the Demon Brothers. We also have a bundle where it knocks off a couple bucks if you buy the two of them as a 2-pack. So you can either choose that as a reward right off the Kickstarter, if that's all you're going for, or if there were other figures you wanted, you could pick that as a reward, and they're available as a discounted 2-pack as an add-on also. So all of that's in Kickstarter. If you start to navigate through it, you'll see the different reward tiers are also available as add-ons. So you can kind of take different bundle options and put them together and save yourself some money. So like we're trying to make it as friendly as possible to people that want to but kind of mix and match.
Yeah, these guys are cool. I can see these being in like Diablo or something. I played a lot of Diablo, and like
definitely like it's like the demons in general. Like that's
Yeah.
I watch a lot of anime with I have an 11-year-old son, and there's like a lot of overlap with these characters where they could fit in with like SHF, Dan Dan, or Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer
Yeah,
or something along those lines, where it's like they'll work. They're creepy demons that like will work. Kaiju number 8
I was
would
thinking
look
that
great
too. Yeah.
fighting these
Yeah.
guys. So
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot that we want people to be able to mix and match with these, whether it's in toy photography or just on their shelves, or like I said, if they want to just have their own devoted little Cursed Dead set up, more power to you. That's amazing. So these are supposed to be versatile.
Sweet.
All right, so now we're getting into the deluxe figures. So the main thing with the deluxe figures is the addition of soft goods. So Phil is making me do all of the talking, and that's fine.
Can I do some talking real quick?
Yes.
This Dr. Crane is the highlight for me.
This looks fantastic.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
It's very cool. This is like one of the early ones that we got done, and let me tell you, like it's like we posted the turnaround video on the IG a couple of days ago that starts to show it, but I need to go back and do some zoomed in detail pics, because Phil's got some of the grossest crap going on with this guy. Like Phil, do you want to talk about some of like the really like the gross shit that's in like the back of his head and on his back?
It's like breaking skin and maggots growing out of the back, and
Nice.
but it's like you have to overdo it because it's going to be small, so you can't go like over the top, like super realistic detail. So, but it's gross. Yeah, I made it to be as gross as possible, and it's abstracted in form. So the one arm is a lot bigger. We have a system where we're locking a chest plate into place, and then all the arm builds around it. So it stands. It should support itself. It does support itself, but it's a lot going on with that one. A lot.
And it's
Plus,
like
you have like extra details because like the jacket's not just clean; it's got like gunk and blood.
Well, it's
and
burnt.
crap
Yeah,
all over it.
physically
Burnt.
burnt the jacket, cut it all up, cut the pants
that's cool.
all up after, and then Adam came up with the idea to put coffee stains around the burns.
Yeah.
That's all I've done in this whole thing. I added that coffee stains, but even the little like extremities and stuff, like I know this one's stuck in with like a ball joint, so that's posable. And then the thing that is around the character's left wrist, that's actually like that is a hand. That's like skin, flesh hand that's trapped around his wrist there.
Oh, cool.
That's
Yeah,
Sweet.
Dr. Crane, because he has the most unique tooling. Like if you scroll down, like it's like you'll see like that is what you get with the character plus
wow.
the addition of the soft goods. So it's like he is a whole bunch of new parts of his arm as well as the question about the wings. So we were just talking about this as well. Like I'll straight up say it. Phil has sculpted wings. We are pricing with our we priced with like 3 different factories. Once we'd finished all the files and got them all engineered and ready, stuff like wings, any large pieces, that takes up a bigger steel tool and increases the tooling cost, which is the most expensive part of the process. So the wings aren't in this initial wave. Now that's not. We have 3 weeks left of the campaign. If this campaign goes crazy, if suddenly everyone backs it and it hits stretch goals and makes a bunch of money, then yeah, we have other parts, we have other characters, we have other accessory packs. I've mentioned this on other streams. I really like the idea of if we were to make money, we have 2 stretch goals that are figures planned. But what I would really like to do if we were to blow through those stretch goals is start making stuff that we just start including with the other characters as is. It's not extra money for anyone. It's kind of giving back because we will have made enough money that we can afford to tool and produce these pieces.
That's
so
cool.
If it's an accessory or a hand or an extra head, like like McFarlane does that in his Kickstarters that don't need to be Kickstarters, but it's kind of a cool concept overall, and I think it's a really nice way to kind of give back, where it's like, I'm Todd McFarlane, I made $1 million, and it's like I'm gonna include a sword now, so it's like if we do really well, like I would like to start including additional parts with some of the characters. With that said, our 2 initial stretch goals are figure based that I just really wanted to get into the line because they're characters that I thought would be really, really freaking cool. So those 2, if we hit those, then we would be into the realm of making enough money where we could actually afford to potentially start giving back and putting extra pieces in with existing parts that are on there.
Awesome. Guys, I gotta head out. Adam, Phil, it's good talking to you. Can't wait to have you on POA.
Have a good one.
I will. We will see you. I mean, like, is it supposed to be a secret when we're coming on?
No, I've already said it's January 25th, right?
There you go. So
See you
yeah,
then.
we'll be on the 3 POA. Basically, I think that's one, and like this is an important one, Laser Pants. I hope you know that's 1 week to the end of the campaign. So I think that like that's like when the heat is on. So
Heat's on, baby. Got to get you over the finish line. In fact, I want to say something right now that I've never said before to the audience. Okay, guys, these are industry veterans here. They know what they're doing. They know how to make toys. These look awesome. I think it's a really good investment. Let's back it and get it funded.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
You guys have a good night. Avi, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Later.
Take care.
To kind of follow up on what Laser Pants just said, I've mentioned this before too, but yeah, so Phil being in the toy industry for over 30 years, myself being a Gentle Giant for 19 years, we like the final quality of these action figures needs to be up to our standards because our professional lives kind of depend on delivering on this. So like, if we get funded, which I'm really hoping we do, we can't deliver product that's questionable in any way because this is what we do for a living, guys. Like we make toys. We make toys for Hasbro, Mattel, Playmates, Jazzwares, Vala, we work on prototyping toys for other people. And if we had some kind of lackluster product, we would never work again. So we very much mean to deliver high quality pieces, and that's why we've taken these prototypes over the finish line on our own already. So this stuff that like all of the stuff that you see here as part of the Kickstarter campaign has already been sent to factories for manufacturing quotes. It's all ready to go. So as soon as we are able to fund manufacturing, this stuff is ready to go. Like, we're not going to be like, oh, cool, now we got to finish stuff. Like, it's like, no, this stuff is good to go. So,
Hey, Adam. So John Toole just said the toy line looks good. I was surprised of their size in a good way.
So
why don't you address that just in case he's seen a 2-up?
yeah, well, that's I will. You know what?
I mean, Adam, we can show that after we go through all the characters. That way,
Okay,
that people
cool.
can
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
We'll big screen you that way.
We have 2 more characters left, but yeah, exactly. Like we've done some interesting things with the prototypes, and like we are going to show a bunch of scale pictures coming up soon, and I'll show you some stuff in a moment.
Yep.
But yeah, Dr. Crane is definitely a favorite of everyone. Dr. Scante, Phil, you have to talk about this one. Like
It's
this
a
one is
lobster.
your
It's a lobster character. And he was working on a super soldier serum that allows soldiers to never sleep. And it was called Operation Broken Windows. And yeah, his name is Dr. Scante.
And
some of that.
I'm gonna say that with what Phil said, I'm gonna spell it out a little bit more. Like I'm like the guy who explains his joke. Look, if you Urban Dictionary, and the name, and you think about not sleeping and all of that, then you kind of get an idea of the tongue-in-cheek humor involved with this character. But yeah, he's really cool.
A lot of street jokes in his bio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was literally thinking Zoidberg in my head.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely influences of all sorts in this
Yeah.
character.
there's a lot of Guyver in there too.
And some people have even said that the head resembles the Cloverfield monster, which I could see that.
I could see that.
Like it's
yeah.
like like
I didn't
Phil.
really-
We're both giant horror movie fans, but Phil like runs circles around me. Like he watches like there's B movies. Like Phil's down in like the D, E, F
He's like
movie
DEF.
category.
I
Yeah.
always think it looks like it was shot on a camcorder from like '87.
Yeah,
It's now.
Exactly.
I know some of those.
Yeah.
That was actually one of my other questions too. Was like why like the cursed demons and monsters and things like that.
Well, it's got a easily recognizable thing. Everybody knows monsters. They're all kind of in the back of your head. You give them original ideas, you give them an original look or unique look, and there's already kind of like a built-in audience, or to some degree a built-in audience.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go completely unique IP, you're taking a huge risk.
And Abby, like if I can tackle that a little bit too, like growing off of what Phil said, it's like we developed this line where it's like these are all individual characters that could be individual episodes of a TV show or individual movies or individual comic books, and like where we would want them to then grow together into a overarching storyline that we have planned, but they also make for great villains for all of your like all of the stuff that you and I all buy. Like it's like you can pit these guys against them, so it's like they're meant to be like, hey, you can use these with other stuff, like
Easily. Your Action Force, GI Joes, Valorverse.
exactly. You have your
Monster Force.
your Pandora. You buy the Brood Drinker 3-pack, and you have Pandora mowing down 3 crazy vampire creatures. Like it's like that would look badass. Like they're like that's the intent overall. Is make stuff that's cool and also make stuff that works with other things.
Yeah, I could definitely see Blade fighting the vampire creatures all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, he needs a personal assistant. I'm sure it's hard to get to his wallet.
I was gonna say, what's in his pocket?
Yeah, and if you scroll down, also
Cool.
he has some little accessories there that aren't pictured in the parts breakdown, but he will come with. But he has this cool like retro style blaster, but because he comes with the skull head, he also comes with the regular hands. So you can actually make him
Right.
into
Mhm.
more of like a skull lab zombie guy
That's
too.
cool.
So it's like there's a lot more room to make stuff up with this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do all the skulls, are they like a single color for every fig, or are they going to be kind of in the
So
tones?
yeah,
Oh,
of
they
the
match each
character?
character.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
To match each
painted to
tone,
match
okay.
the deco. So it's like they the base color matches the base body, but they do
Right.
have additional paint. You
Okay.
get, like I said, I don't have any of the pictures of the painted skull heads in the campaign, but if you go into the update section or our Instagram page or Facebook page, you can start seeing those pictures. I know I've already
Cool.
posted pictures of the Crankle skull, and then today I posted pictures of the Drinker skull.
Nice.
So yeah,
Those
I
would be
think
sick.
up next is the guy who I was just talking about, the Crankle. So this is the one that Phil wrote these lyrics to this song, and then Phil and Josh recorded the song that is linked in this YouTube video here. And then from the Toy Migos, Cheney 180 actually took the photos and video that we used to make the music video. So
nice.
it's a
Okay.
really creepy Christmas song music video. I played it to my 11-year-old, and he was like terrified of it. But yeah, this guy is like, Phil, do you want to talk about like
Yeah.
his background?
The concept of the Crankle is that he's an alien who is sorry, I just read that. That's funny. But he's an alien that's obsessed with, like, he's Santa's biggest fan, and he goes like deep into the lore. So he decides to take it upon himself to stop kids from staying up late to catch a glimpse of Santa. And if he catches kids staying up late, he skins them or takes their eyes and puts them on his Christmas tree.
Super
Oh, man.
freaking creepy. Like, yeah.
We're gonna have to have
Basically like
the Crankle Krampus face off.
Yeah,
Right?
it's basically like
That'd be awesome.
a spun out alien that's like
Yeah,
heavy fan of
That's-
Santa.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
he comes with basically a Santa. Like, if you scroll down, he comes with like a Santa skin mask also.
Yeah,
It's like a rubber
remember
mask,
seeing that.
but it
Yeah.
Yeah.
looks pretty gross when it's painted. The paint.
Yeah.
What's the I forget the guy's name on his.
Oh,
monitor.
Nico. So yeah,
Nico.
Artman Customs on
Artman Customs.
Instagram. Nico Hodge. He works. He's a freelance painter for Gentle Giant Studios also, and he painted it. So we had people
that's
from
awesome.
the toy community also work with us. So Gordy was painted by Punker Mike. He's also on Instagram and YouTube. But
Yep.
yeah, we've been doing this for a long time. So we had friends in the toy industry and friends in the toy community have helped work on a bunch of these things.
As you all know, there's a lot of talented people in the customizing, photography, and paint world of this. It's amazing. So many.
I mean,
talented
we were talking about high school creations earlier, and we actually Mike is a friend of mine just from knowing him online and backing the campaign, and I've known him for a couple years before that, and he actually had Kirsted on display at his booth at this past Designer Con. So yeah, we're big proponents of like this indie toy scene. Like, this is what we're trying to do it as well. Even though we're in the toy industry professionally, we want to make our own toys that we get to have our say over from start to finish. So that's the difference for us. Like, very often, like Phil, myself, if you're in the toy industry and you're doing prototyping work for another company, you take it to a certain point and then you hand that work over to the company and they take it to the finish line. So then we're out there and we'll, buy stuff off shelves or online, and it's like, oh, that changed, or that's different, or they messed that part up, or that's not what I intended.
Yeah.
And luckily now with us doing this, we won't have that issue. We'll get to actually see our full vision through to completion.
Just to interrupt you guys, Roll Keeper, I just pinned it to the chat. That way people can just click on the link. And for you, buddy, thank you.
Rock and roll.
Right. You
So I
know,
think
like something
we're
else I was
bound to-
imagining with the body. Like I've been looking for a Grinch, like a really evil Grinch.
Oh, dude.
That would be so dope.
I've
if you
seen.
guys
I
could make
think.
something
I
like
think
that.
Nico Artman Customs has painted some Grinch heads that he's put on different bodies. Like I think
Mhm.
people.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen people do it on the Marvel Legends. What is it? The not Gremlin. It's the Spider-Man villain.
The
clone guy,
green
Jackal.
demon looking dude. Yeah, Jackal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackal, because
Jackal.
he's got like the green base body, so it's
Okay.
kind of like a furry but buff Grinch, and it's like it looks badass. But yeah, I think our guy is a little bit skinnier, which would be nice.
Yeah.
But you'd have to add a little like belly pouch or something for him. You know,
I just want an evil Grinch.
rock and roll.
That
fair
would be
enough.
That'd be fun to design, actually.
Yeah, that would be like
That
that
would
would
be
give Phil
dope.
ideas now.
Yeah, that would be dope because like I have an entire shelf dedicated to like Santa and like his elves, and then like I have a moose from Four Horsemen,
Heck
and
yeah.
then I have Jenna Jameson because she's wearing a Santa outfit.
Nice.
Is
Is that the Plastic Fantasy? Jenny?
It is. It is.
So I used to work for that toy company before I went to the Deluxe studio.
He's got a lot of experience, folks.
Yeah, Plastic Fantasy was I
That's
don't
funny.
know like how well known this is, but Plastic Fantasy that made these adult porn star toys was actually a side name like brand for Soda Toys, which did the Street Fighter figures.
Oh, yeah,
back
yeah.
in the
It was
day.
Soda Toys,
So
really.
Soda Toys and Plastic Fantasy
Wow.
were actually the same company. And
Oh.
yeah, it was just different brand names because of the subject matter.
Of course.
If only
Yeah.
parents knew back then what they were buying their kids.
But like, I
Exactly.
have a Krampus from Mythic Legions on my Santa shelf, and I was just like, I need a Grinch. I need like more like villains.
Yeah, no,
From Santa.
totally. Yeah, I have the
From
four,
Santa.
I have the Four Horsemen Krampus. I have the that Fresh Monkey Fiction, the Naughty or Nice Santa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
like, I
yeah.
have a bunch of stuff that like is all still out. I have not taken down my Christmas decorations yet, guys.
Mine
But
is
yeah,
still
I
up
have
too.
like a Christmas action figure display.
Yeah, this is
All right,
this
so
is great.
yeah, we're crankled, and I think that brings us down to our final of the deluxe figures. Figure Kingdom is going to get to speak someday, I swear. We have our final deluxe figure, which is the Wendigo, which is one of my personal favorites. I really like this guy. Phil, do you want to talk about the character for a second?
It's just the classic Wendigo, your cursed human being who has a permanent hunger. They start eating themselves, and there's connected to like a deer skull usually. So I designed a deer skull that is like deformed all over the place. If the animal was alive, it would be in utter pain to have that skull underneath. Yeah, and it's just a completely jacked up looking guy. And his accessory, which comes with him, is a chewed up human arm.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
that-
wow.
that
For
arm.
club.
So yeah, you'll get the deer skull, you get the kind of zombie-esque Wendigo head, multiple sets of hands, and then he also comes with the skull head with articulated jaw, as well as the soft goods. And then I just want to touch on the soft goods really fast for these deluxe figures that I don't know, like it's like I never stopped buying toys. I'm 47 years old. I bought toys my whole life. I don't know if everyone's familiar with the company, but so before 3-0 is a current company that's making toys. Before that, they were called 3A Toys, which it was Ashley Wood and 3-0 kind of working together. And they did 1/6 scale toys as well as 1/12 scale toys. And when they did soft goods, so I used to be a 3AA member. Like I paid for a membership fee and would buy all their toys. And they were like really early on doing soft goods in 1/12 scale, like before Mezco was even doing it. And one of the
wow.
things that they did with their soft goods is they added paint. So Phil comes from a background like his family were tailors. He worked on the soft goods for these characters, and then we went in and applied like paint and stuff to them on top of it. So it's like that's what we're going to do with these toys. So they're not just regular old soft goods. It's like stuff that's like, it's got kind of matted fur, and it's like, in all honesty, it feels kind of gross when you're touching it, but
Yeah.
like in a cool way, I promise. Not in a bad way. But yeah, so there's a little bit more to it than just like, run of the mill soft goods on there.
The skull. I'm trying to judge by the picture. The skull clips onto his head, or is it just
Yeah.
separate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll lock into
like a
his
full
face.
mask. Yeah,
It'll
that's
lock into
cool,
the
yeah.
face.
So
that's
there's
cool.
there's definitely some pictures
Maybe
of
put it
him
back
with
as
the
well.
mask on our Instagram, Facebook group, all of that.
Yeah,
So you can
yeah.
go check it out there. And then we'll be posting more pictures of him over the course of the month because, like I said, he's one of my favorites. So we just started a thing where I'm doing Wendigo Wednesdays, and I love it. So I've been taking the Wendigo prototype around with me, like it's like in my car, and I'll just bring it to random places and take pictures with it. So it's like for this past Wednesday, I brought him with me to the movie theater when I went to go see Nosferatu, and I took a picture of him out in front of the movie
Nice.
theater, like the Wendigo was going to the movies with me. So yeah, he's a really cool one. But that leads us into, so we have stretch goals, which are two basic figures. We started teasing what those characters are. We did mention that the first one is based on the Gillman. So like the creature from the Black Lagoon is kind of, it's our take on that. It's the name of the character is the Mangler because Phil took design inspiration from an anglerfish. So it's the Mangler, and it's kind of meant to be like an army builder. It will also be at that basic price point. And yeah, we're
With a
very
bunch new
excited.
tooling.
Yeah, so he has multiple parts to his head, new hands, new feet, but it is still based off of our skinny base body. And it'll be a brand new deco, whole new SKU. But yeah, very excited about that. And then the basic figure that's after that is one of my favorites because of how much it terrifies me. So I'm really hoping we get there, but obviously I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. We gotta get funded first. So
Yep.
that's the Kickstarter campaign, guys.
Oh, this looks awesome.
Awesome.
Really good. Some of the questions I did have is I'm assuming this is just wave 1. You've probably already started thinking about wave 2, thinking in the future. Have you guys thought about like mounts or like cursed mounts?
Oh, geez. I mean, the tooling would be so nuts.
Yeah.
There-
I'm down for it.
I love the idea of it, but no, like we honestly, because so Phil has gone nuts, and he's gone a little bit more nuts than we were ready for, because there are additional figures beyond this wave 1 that characters and stuff that we want to build off of this base body anyway, but we didn't want to include in the Kickstarter because that would increase our overall price.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like we could include those in future waves, like like without having to do a full Kickstarter for them. We can make other characters based off of this body with minimal new tooling and new parts. So it's like there's a lot based off of this, but if you go into our Instagram, you can already see Phil had already sculpted, and we have prototypes of what would potentially be our wave 2 character, which is a bigger buffer body that he did a werewolf and a character named Pig that is horrifying as well. So that's where we would probably go in a second wave. And then Phil has already done
It's a
another
pig
wave
man.
body, which would be a wave 3 that is like more of like a Hulk, like a
Yeah.
big, huge bruiser character.
Oh, so even bigger after that. Okay.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
bigger.
But yeah, like a mount or like creatures for them that aren't as human, like that. I mean, like that'd be dope. I'd love to get there. Like
Yeah,
that
that'd
would
be cool. I mean, that'd be awesome. But haven't thought that far ahead because of the tooling aspect of it.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, everything-
Was it? So, typically, like you said, a lot of times, you guys do designs for someone coming to you and be like, "Hey, I need this made, or I need that made, or whatever." But because this is all out of your guys' imagination, do you find it easier or harder to lock in the final
easier.
design?
Way easier, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like I'm just pulling from all my references and kind of my mental references and all my inspiration and all the artists that inspire me, and kind of you could just kind of like mentally pick and choose and kind of put it all together. And some of them I just sculpted straight freehand. Like I didn't do any drawings or illustrations. I just went for it.
Right.
One
See, I
of
feel
the
like I'd be like the
hardest parts-
reverse.
Yeah, one of the hardest parts of our jobs is the approval process, because you have to go
Yeah,
through
yeah.
approvals with the client. So whether that's like Hasbro or Mattel, but then if it's based on a character from an IP, then you have to go through like Disney as well, or WWE. And if it's talent, if it's someone based on like an actual person, they get to have the approval process as well. So it's like you have to go through all these different levels of people giving their opinion. Meanwhile, with these, the only opinion that Phil was getting was mine, and mine was mostly like, holy shit, that looks amazing. And like I think I gave you the barest minimal, like it's like I think I did like a Photoshop thing once, like at the very beginning with the base bodies, right? Like something like that. Do you remember?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was the very, very minimal, and like it was mostly just Phil just having a blast.
Yeah. And if you notice, the base body's got like scaling and plating, and there's all sorts
Yeah.
of textural things going on.
Yeah.
That was by design to hide articulation, as well as make it so that it could be applied to any kind of design. So it could be scales, it could be texture, it could be broken skin, it could just be so many different things. We thought very far ahead of like making these things work as much as we could. I mean, and there's like 6 or 7 that I built that aren't on the Kickstarter because either the soft goods we were afraid to start off with putting out bad soft goods. So the soft goods were so intense that we didn't know if we could hit it right. So we waited.
We wanted to make sure that we could reproduce what we
Yeah.
made. So there is, if you go back through our Instagram, Phil's referring to like I think specifically like one character we have that was called the Blood Slinger. So he's a vampire cowboy. And yeah, we have the prototype pictures on our Instagram page, but like he had way more clothing going on. And it's like we want to do him. Like he's an awesome character. His backstory is super badass, but we want to make sure that we can reproduce this stuff
Yeah.
to what our prototypes are. And with something that's more complex like that, we'll do that as a follow-up. Like the Bloodslinger is like easily like a wave 1.5 kind of thing, you know, like it's something where we would do it and it wouldn't necessarily be another Kickstarter campaign. It would be a direct follow-up. Drop down hips. We did not do drop down hips, and I'm not against drop down hips, but we actually designed the characters with enough clearance that you don't need the drop down hips. So the drop down hips are great for any characters that are like wearing pants, particularly because you can't scoop out enough of the this is going to be a soundbite. You can't scoop out enough of the crotch meat to get the clearance to get the hips up in front of the character. Now, like I said, we were designing this character kind of around the articulation, and because he's so skinny, we were able to make enough clearance that like literally this guy, his legs will go way up. On the Cursed Dead Instagram, you'll also see some images. We have a 3D printed prototype that's unpainted that I got into some crazy ass poses. And even that, like, the final product will be even more posable because our 3D printed prototype is a little bit delicate, you know, because it is just 3D printed resin versus injection molded plastic. So yeah, you can see a lot of the pictures here. Obviously, like that one, you can see his left leg, the leg in the back, how high up it is, but he can crouch down even more than that. But if you scroll through those pictures, like if you hit the little arrow down on the side there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Jeez.
like
Oh,
this thing,
wow.
like it, we've made sure that there's plenty of clearance here
I could do that.
for getting these things into ridiculous photo. And it's like you could keep clicking the arrow. Like I had a blast taking these pictures because like some of them are serious and some of them like if you keep just meant to be ridiculous. So that one really is to show off some of that crazy torso
Pictures of
articulation that I was
range,
talking
yeah.
about
Yeah.
earlier, where he's got the trenches on that upper area that allow for a lot of lateral side to side movement.
I like the
So-
fact there's not a lot of gap either.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
we like I said, we were designing this around being highly articulated. Like that's I kid you not. Articulation is like what I'm the most interested in. Like
Yeah.
I like it's like
A lot
I
of
will
us are.
buy toys that I either don't know what it's from or like just because I think it looks cool if it has really good articulation. Like I don't need
can't-
to be familiar with the character. If it's crazy articulated, I will
Yeah.
buy the thing. So I kind of wanted to make sure that this reflected that kind of sensibility.
Yeah, I
Sentinella,
can't think of a figure off the top of my head that has this setup. Like I've seen reverse ab crunch, I've seen double ball like torso and waist, but I haven't
Yeah.
seen like all three.
We haven't like it's like
combined
like I
together.
don't want to say like it's not something that like we invented by any means, but it's something that we kind of have mishmashed and put together from a variety of different pieces that we've either worked on or seen, so it's like we're kind of slamming it all together. And like there were like I know Toy Biz back in the day did crazy amounts of articulation. Phil worked on a bunch of those, but because they were based on like superheroes or something with human proportions, they didn't always either function as crazy or they didn't look quite as good as you wanted. But because this is a creature, again, able to design around that articulation so we could make it look cool and function like crazy.
I mean, I'm
It's
not
even-
gonna go ahead.
Like with this, the Blackheart, I mean, this is
Yeah.
close with that setup, but the difference is the waist and the there's no waist cut. It's all sculpted together, and that's how I think the new Spider-Man buck is
Exactly.
for Hasbro. Yeah, it's just.
I
It's
was gonna say,
interesting.
like one of the figures I like to carry around with me is Odious because he's so articulated and you can
Totally.
pose him so well. But this might replace Odious.
Oh, snap. I mean,
I mean, I have an
we're
Odious
friends with
shelf.
Wade. We won't tell him.
Yeah, no, we're friends with Wade too. We like.
No, what you do is you have Odious, but underneath he secretly is the cursed body.
There you go. Exactly. You just put Odious's head in soft goods on the drinker body.
That'd be hilarious.
But then this just gives Odious to fight another monster. So
Exactly.
Oh yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the intent. And I was just talking about this recently on another stream. I've taken pictures of our prototypes alongside a bunch of other figures, including Odious. I have not posted them yet, so there's a hand pick of the drinker for you in front of some of my Ninja Turtles. But yeah, the other thing that I've been trying to tell people is our prototypes. We printed them because we were handing these over to the factory so that way we could get these quotes so we could figure out what to charge for the Kickstarter campaign. And one of the things that happens when you're making toys is there can be production shrink. So production shrink is like you're creating steel tools and then you're injecting hot like melted plastic into these steel molds to make action figures. That when it cools down, there's a little bit of shrink. The shrink is usually like it's between 1% and 4%. So we created our prototypes at 104%. So we added 4% to the size, and then we printed them out. We made molds, castings, and then created all of the different prototypes for all the different characters. So our character, like when you see these pictures that I'm gonna post next to like Odious and next to like other figures, you got to keep in mind that it's at 104%. So it might shrink, like it would be a quarter of an inch or less. So it's a small amount, but it also is what's kept me from posting these pictures yet, because I'm worried that too many people are going to look at these pictures and use them to make or break whether or not they're going to buy these. Like they'll either be like, those are too big, or those are too small, or that's the perfect size and I don't want it to shrink. And like I don't want
But
this
they're also
Goldilocks.
monsters, right? So
Yeah,
like,
I don't
yeah,
want
they could
I don't
be-
want to worry about the Goldilocks kind of
Yeah.
syndrome here. I'd rather people just see them and just be like, no, these are meant to be 1/12 scale monsters, and these guys know what they're talking about and are making them the size that's going to work with the vast majority of your 1/12 collection.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. So I am going to post the pictures, but I want to keep saying that as often as I can and to as many people as I can, that when you see these pictures of our drinker prototype next to other figures, just keep in mind that that is not absolutely the final size. Like that's
Yeah.
not like don't like there's going to be some changes because these are just prototypes still.
yep.
These are crazy prototypes. Like printing has come so far because like this
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like a final production piece. Like just
Yeah.
it's so not like smooth, but like it's smooth. Like it's
Yeah, it's the 3D printing, like since I've been in the industry, and like Phil can speak to this too, it's
It's wild.
crazy how fast the technology has improved. And it still does. Like it's like by the time you buy like a 3D print, even if you're buying like an at-home 3D printer right now, like in a month or two,
Yeah.
there's better ones. Like and that are just as cheap, if not cheaper. Like it's crazy how that's been working out.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Do you want to show off the physical ones now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
yeah, so right before you do that, I'm going to go ahead and bring that hashtag back in. Guys, chance to win. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. Legend of the White Dragon. Rhode Island Comic Con exclusive. From Valaverse.
It's like
Put
the
that hashtag.
It's the Force Ghost version.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Jedi, but not really. And I'll just give like another 30 seconds and then I'm going to go ahead and just spin it.
Spin it to win it.
Exactly. And then you can reach out to me on Instagram, show the fact that you are subscribed to the channel, and then, I'll send me your address, I'll ship out the item. And also, make sure to, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe. I'm on a race to 1,000 subscribers,
I wanted
mostly-
to show this real quick. By
mostly
the way,
to beat
too.
Ernie. No.
This is that painted
Yeah,
Oh.
so there's the
to
skull.
match the body. Yeah,
So you imagine that, but in all the different body colors. But
Yeah,
I say imagine that right now, but I promise there will be posted pictures. So like Hate and Rage, the red guy, and the all black guy, and then the Gordy that's green. And it's like all of them will have skulls that are painted to match their bodies. And the jaw on the skull is articulated, so it opens and closes as well.
this is actually a great idea because this is like you like can army build these guys and they're like the minions, and then the main guy could be almost like a leader or something, and or however you want to do it. Like it's
Exact, Brandon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Exactly.
Genius.
I think
This
Figure
goes where
Kingdom
Adam's
just dropped
idea.
out.
Oh, Phil gave me credit for something.
Yeah. The skulls were Adam's idea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
these look freaking awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just something to give back, like if you want, to use the skulls, cool. If you don't, fine. But like, it's like it makes the character a little bit more versatile again. To like,
yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
if you want just like weird zombie skull guys, like they're pretty cool as that too.
Yeah, these look great.
So yeah, I have some of the prototypes in hand too. But yeah, like I'm happy if you guys like, if you want to show off Instagram, if you want me to hold some prototypes up, I'm happy.
Yeah,
to
let me
do
just
that.
swing this hashtag in quickly, and then
Oh yeah, that's right.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
I think Figure Kingdom just dropped out, so I just texted him saying apologizing.
I feel Figure Kingdom. I follow you on Instagram. You are amazing. I am
Yes.
sorry.
Go check him out, guys. He's on Instagram as Figure Kingdom. I think he had to jump. I just messaged him, so hopefully, No bad.
When he comes back, I will not be here speaking the entire time.
Yeah, I have to jump off soon too. So
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one. Good luck.
you just have a program that randomizes like that?
awesome,
It's just
right?
a StreamYard giveaway.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a
like
giveaway.
baked
Junkie
in.
on, congrats, man.
Oh, nice.
Congrats. That's awesome.
You know, I could play some. I have some really. I use this for David Vonner.
Somebody down gonna get boned.
Why not?
David,
Congrats,
David
Junkie on.
Bonner is a friend of both of ours. He worked
Yeah.
at Toy Biz back in the day when Phil was sculpting stuff, and then Vonner, when Vonner was at Hasbro, I started working with him on the Marvel Universe line, the 1/18th scale Marvel Universe stuff. So we became really tight, and then Vonner and I also had a whole article series where we were writing for Toy Collector magazine. The For the Culture articles was Dave Vonner and myself with our various hot takes on different things. It's currently on hiatus because he and I both have a lot of other things going on, but the first 14 issues, I think, of Toy Collector magazine have For the Culture articles written by the both of us.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, David was on our show
Like last
Like,
week? No, week
last
before.
week or the week before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal.
When we went brutal.
Yeah.
The next giveaway is going to be the Cosmic Legion's alien dude. I can't say his name. Sipition. He looks
the
cool.
names, I swear, for a lot of the Four Horsemen stuff, it seems like they just take the alphabet and just pick a series of consonants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard to like. I love the figures, but
It's a dope figure.
I can't pronounce any of their names.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
either.
It's a really good figure. Sorry for all the glare.
I refuse to believe that there's not someone in that world named like Jack. Sam.
Robert.
Jerry.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Jerry.
Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Those are cool, man. I love all their stuff.
Yeah. So go ahead and put Cosmic as the hashtag, and we'll get back to this one as we wrap up.
Word. So I got here's the drinker painted prototype right here.
Nice.
See him in person. Yeah, the paint detail.
awesome.
So this we've had a couple of different painters. I believe this one was painted by one of my other coworkers. I lovingly refer to him as Beardy because I'm very clever with nicknames and he has a magnificent beard. But yeah, the paint detail on these things is another thing, you know, so it's like
Yeah.
I keep telling you guys how important articulation is to me, but like I would say like right behind that is paint. You know, like that's one of the things that always bums us out with production, like mass production, big company toys, is they never seem to put enough paint on stuff. You know, like so we'll do these prototypes that have these beautiful sculpts and then they're just, you know, injected in a single color plastic and barely have any paint on them. So we wanted to make sure that even though these guys are like kind of like, you know, they don't have too many things going on, we wanted to make sure that we got some really good paint
Wow.
detail in there to bring out
wow.
some of that sculpt detail. So this is the Jinn, the
That's
genie.
crazy.
And what I really like about this character, I've mentioned on some other streams, is it reminds me a lot of the villain in the most recent Ghostbusters movie. That's like the
Okay.
frost kind of like ghost
Yeah.
thing, you know, like the winter frost ghost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, at some point we should do a paint variant of this that has like a lot of that blue, frosty, like cold kind of look to it, which would also make sense because it's a Jinn, which is a genie, and you have the Disney genie is blue, you know, from Aladdin. So it would be kind of cool in general.
You know,
I think,
go ahead.
oh yeah, I was just going to answer John's question. They coming with stands. They're not coming with stands, at least initially. Like I said, if we blow through stretch goals and make enough money, that stands are something that I would love to include with the figures, like something that we do with the logo or something. But peg holes in the feet, we will absolutely add peg holes into the bottom of the feet. We'll kind of do like a standardized, like, you know, a 1/8 is usually around that size, but we will make sure that they all have peg holes, so that way if they don't come with stands, you can use them with some of the more common ones.
You know, it'd be a cool stand if it was like a little portal to hell,
dude,
or something.
That's like I love any of the, like, any stand that is like even just like a kind of a tiny bit of like a diorama like type element is dope to me. Like,
No, I agree.
I just
little
happen
bit
to
of
have this right
ground,
here
or like, I love a portal idea. Like, that's great. Like, it's like,
because this is like a headstone.
yeah,
Headstone, yeah, from
anything
off
that
the
has like a little bit of an element where you can use it in a setup or something,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
like looks intentional rather than I'm just plugged on to make this guy not fall all over on my shelf.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, but that thing was great, painted up. Yeah,
I was gonna say it reminded me of Wishmaster.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like, influences from everywhere, guys. Like,
Yeah.
So this is Crankle, the evil Santa Claus loving
Nice.
alien.
That's awesome.
And here is his really gross Santa mask that's made of skin. That it will be so it'll be
I made a skin. It's
friction
supposed to
fit.
be like a rubber mask. It's supposed to be like a terrible rubber mask,
Instead, it looks
but it's
like
covered in blood.
yeah, it looks like he's skinned, because that's Nico went a little bit nuts on the paint job.
And
But it'll be
scratches.
a friction fit, so it'll just kind of like you slide it in there and pop it onto his head. And then what's really cool is
like Leatherface. Yeah. That's
so
sick.
if you take the hood off, now in order to make it easier for me to not take the hood off, I actually just have like a separate head here, but I will show you guys. This is what he looks like with the hood off.
That's
That's cool.
So yeah,
It's like a
and
skinny
then-
doomsday.
Yeah. And then here he comes with this also. So like I said, all of the figures. Ah, damn it! I dropped the jaw. Yeah, he also comes with the skull head.
Skull head.
And let's see if I can. It's hard to do this on camera, but the jaw
Oh, nice. Okay.
opens and closes. Yeah, the jaw's
Yeah.
gonna fall off in my
Yep.
hands because it's a printed prototype. But yeah, so now
Man,
to
these are cool.
to confuse things even more for anyone that's watching, we originally showed these off at Designer Con years ago, and because we're in the toy industry, and Phil used to be a traditional sculptor, so he used to sculpt everything by hand in wax and clay. One of the things that they used to do is sculpt things at 2-up, which is double the size. So we actually did a couple of the prototypes at 2-up because it's cooler. Like when you're walking around a convention, seeing a like a 6-inch figure, it's like, oh, that's cool. But what catches people's eyes more is like, oh, here's the 12-inch figure. So we did these 2-ups, and like what they would do in production back in the day is the 2-up would then be scanned and shrunk down. So think about like a photocopy doing a reduction. So it's like you take something that's big and you reduce it down, and the detail is maintained and it looks even actually more crisp. So like that was the intention for 2-ups back in the day. Ours was purely for display. So these next 3 that I have here are all 2-ups. People have asked us while I've been showing them off if we'll make them at this size, and while I would love to, that the expense for tooling would be astronomical. So again, like if this line is successful and enough people want it, I'm not saying we won't do it, but it would be its own new kind of Kickstarter campaign or something else.
Dude.
So here's one of the Demon
Holy
Brothers
crap.
at 2-up.
That looks dope.
Holy snakies.
if I can hold them at the same time. But yeah, both. I gotta move my face out of the way so it focuses on these. But yeah, both.
Now you're talking some like kaiju number 8 type.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. At this size. So like because these guys are going to be like just a hair under 7 inches tall, you know, between like 6 3/4 and 7 inches tall, meant to go with 1/12 scale stuff. Like they'll be a little bit bigger than the SHF kaiju number 8 figure as is. So they'll look really cool with him
for sure,
as
for
like,
sure.
you know,
Yeah.
like villains that they could fight. But
Yeah.
yeah, if they were this size, like yeah, no doubt, like they would look pretty awesome too. And don't get me wrong, I love them. Like it's very
Yeah.
very cool at this larger size, but
No.
this is not what size
right.
the current Kickstarter campaign is for. And then the last one I have in hand, because like I said, I did ship off a couple of these to a toy photographer. I have the 2-up of Gordy here. So
wow.
that is
Cool.
Gordy with his multiple faces carved into the pumpkin head for some of his past kills.
Yo, he would go good with the what's his name? From the Lightning collection, the pumpkin wrapper.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I might have that figure here actually somewhere, but like,
Yeah.
I have quite a few of the Lightning collection figures. Yeah, that's the prototypes I have in hand. And with that said, I will have these prototypes at Frankenson's not tomorrow Saturday, but the Saturday after. So January 18th, Saturday, Frankenson Collectible Show, which is in City of Industry. If you're in the SoCal area, and you want to go to Frankenson's and see some of these in person, we're going to post up like basically over by the food court area. There's some tables. We're just going to sit there with some prototypes, and we've invited a bunch of people. I know Unparalleled Universe is actually going to make the drive down to come hang out, and a bunch of other people are coming as well. And yeah, we'll be there for a little while showing off the prototypes in person, so that way people can come take a look at them. If they want to take their own photos, videos, we would encourage that. We'd love that. But yeah,
Share it
in hand.
You trying
Share it
to
everywhere.
go? Abby, you trying to go? Should we book
You
a flight?
want to book a flight? Let's go. It's only a 5-hour flight.
It's funny because we were talking a little bit about this before we went on the air, where I was like, Frankenstein's cool, but don't plan a California trip just for Frankenstein's. It needs to have
There's some other stuff.
But
We'll hit a In and Out on the way.
in the SoCal area.
Also, you don't know what's going to be open, dude. Like LA, a lot of LA is shut down right now. So.
Yeah.
Right. That's
I was in Beverly Hills last month, actually. My mom had surgery, so from a specialist in California, and she's from Virginia, East Coast. So my brother took her up to California. I made sure she came home safely. So I was hanging out in Beverly Hills for like 3 days.
Nice.
That's cool.
No toy shops though.
No.
No.
You get a Fendi bag, but you can't get a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, gentlemen, I have
Designers.
to bump off here, but thank you for having us.
Hey
Thank you
Phil,
for
this
having
is
me.
Yeah.
thank
was
you very
awesome.
much.
I'm going
man.
to tell the audience because I'm sticking around, but Phil is bouncing because he's cool and he's going to a punk rock show. So he actually
Old
you're
people
not-
still go to shows.
yeah. So
Well, really, thank you guys for having us. I appreciate all the comments, and yeah, it's really fun. Thank you
Yeah, that
guys.
was awesome.
Oh, toy
thanks.
collector, nice.
I'll
Anyway,
talk to
thank
you
you
in
guys.
like 10 minutes, I'm sure, in text message.
yes.
Bye.
All right,
Bye, my
later,
friend.
guys. Thank you.
Take care, Phil. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, Figure Kingdom jumped off, so I'm trying to see if he wants to jump back in.
Yeah, if he does, cool. If he doesn't, I'm happy to hang out with you guys and talk about whatever the heck you want. We can talk,
Well, I want to see
Found
if I
this
got
too.
anything. Yeah, there's
Found the- I
Wendy
found
the
Wendy
movie scene.
Day. So yeah, I'll be following this up every week through the month with different shots of the Wendigo in random places that are around. So like I said, I was going to see Nosferatu and I brought him, but that's what Wendigo looks like with the deer head.
Take care, Junkie on.
Seeing the beady eyes through there is so
Right?
creepy and awesome.
It is really creepy. So how was Nosferatu?
Yeah, how was
I
that?
I really really loved it. My wife thought it was really good too.
Hmm.
She did not like one like design element that I think people probably like if you've heard anything about it.
I heard it was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I
heard
love
too.
it. It looks beautiful. It's like shot like it's like that guy Robert Eggers makes amazing looking movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen any of his other stuff, but like they're
Mhm.
all really good. They're different levels of creepy and stuff, but like I thought this was amazing across the board. I didn't mind the design choices for Nosferatu. I thought
I haven't
that
seen how he
Warlock-
looks yet
he
because
has
they kept it out of the trailer, and I
Yeah.
haven't seen spoilers yet.
very and then like I think that's very wise and it's cool. It's just like
Yeah.
in all honesty, it's like and no spoilers. It's just it can. I think it's a little jarring. Like it's a little bit of a surprise to people, so that's why some people like weren't thrilled with it. I
'Cause
think
it's like
it's
a,
cool,
like
and
different,
I think it works.
different looking. Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it really
like-
different or?
I've been so tempted to make like a joke post on our page that kind of like show like I want to be like I want to like I'm not gonna say it because like I don't want to spoil you guys, but I will say that like once you eventually see it, you'll understand my joke post because it's like I want to take our vampire character and I want to put something on our vampire character and just as the like caption write possible variant question mark
Oh,
and like
okay.
that's it. So it's like that. It again. I've managed to contain my
Well done.
my humor and not just post about.
Is
It.
that-
Holy, you got it, dude!
I got
Wow.
a bloody one.
There you go.
Congrats.
And now
That's
you
all.
can't open it.
Yeah, I only had to order 5.
Yeah. Oh, so was it? But is that?
It was the
fifth
last
you-
one. That was the
Oh.
5th one. Yes.
I mean, like that's cool. That's lucky. That's
Yeah.
At least
I even-
it happened. But that
I-
is totally funny that it's the last one.
Yeah.
that you
I
opened.
even opened this one and I was like, oh, nope, not bloody.
Yeah.
And then finally got the bloody one. So
Yeah.
there you go. At least I got one bloody out
That's
of
cool.
all of them. But that works. I'm happy.
That's awesome. Congrats, man. You did it.
Thank you. Finally.
You should let me get one of
Um,
the other ones.
Huh?
You should let me get one of the other ones.
You can talk. I mean, I do have 5, so
Can I trade you? Can I trade you some Action Force points?
no. I have so many. It's insane.
I have action for it, so I have pictures of our drinker prototype in
Uh-huh.
between. I think because what I did for all these scale shots that I was telling you guys about earlier that I haven't posted yet is it's a picture of the standard drinker, the standard vampire standing in between two figures, and there's 24 pictures, so 24 times 2, that's so 48 other figures next to the drinker.
Do you have it on your computer or?
I have them all on my computer, but it's like I'm reluctant. I'm gonna post them eventually. We did show the Odious one. Is there a way I can drop? You know what? I'll email the Odious picture to you right now.
I was gonna say, you could share your screen if you want to do that.
Well,
You have the
I'm
ability to
worried
do
that
that.
you're gonna see my porn, and that would be weird.
We're all worried about that when we share our
Yeah,
screens.
Odious, because that one's ready to go, and it's cool. But I have shots of the drinker with, I think it's Pandora and what's the damn it, I suck. The robot guy, the one that's like a bat snake eyes. The Praetorian.
Praetorian. Okay.
The Praetorian.
Yeah.
So it's like I have the drinker standing in between the,
Okay.
the standard Pandora and the Praetorian, just so you can kind of see what it will look like next to Valaverse stuff.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah.
funny you mention that though, because until you said something about the shrinkage and all that, I've known like we've seen other figures that are just in resin form and put together with other figures, but by the time they like come out, if they shrunk, I would have never noticed. Like it's something like
Yeah.
I don't think people really think about, and then, until
not-
you
like
go back
that's-
and compare it. Like,
Exactly. Like it's like I
yeah.
feel
But now
like,
that you said that, everyone's gonna be like, hey, like now we know.
No,
So-
I kind of psyched myself out and like freaking myself out about it.
yeah, that is
I gotta do
interesting.
it through
That is
Instagram. Hold please, guys. I will send it to you. And you know what? I'm gonna let you post the Valaverse or show the Valaverse one too. 'Cause
Okay.
I might as well just start teasing these out there
I
into the
was gonna say
universe.
like I don't even know what my Instagram password is, so I'll get
Told
it
you
to
to
my
reset
laptop.
it.
I'll get it to my laptop. I just need a second.
All right. Message. Yeah. Is it okay if I send
Yeah,
it
yeah,
to
yeah.
you?
Send it to. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and send it. I'll get it on my laptop. I have a quick way of like screenshotting and moving it.
Cool. All right. So ODS.
You know, I wonder, Abby, if he was talking about the shrinkage. Maybe that's what happened to Bubba Ray and Devon in the 2-pack.
Well, Bubba Ray never shrank then.
Or
I mean, you could ask. We could ask.
no,
Adam over here.
Devon was.
No. Bubba Ray was just too big. He was way too tall.
So Devon shrunk and Bubba Ray was. Maybe it's two separate people that worked on each one, and one considered the shrinkage and one didn't.
I honestly like it's all over the place because it's whatever company is making the toys, they have to work directly with their factory. So it's like,
Yeah.
and it can vary. So like
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of the companies now are doing tooling based entirely off of the digital sculpts. So then there can be zero shrinkage. You just tell them what size of the piece there is. Some of the factories that we have talked to actually do that. So are printing things at 104%.
Well, look, this is
Doesn't
actually
matter.
really good knowledge because I don't, a lot of us we jump the gun on things when we complain, and we could be dead wrong on what we actually think it is. But if no one like clears the air, then everyone's just gonna jump on that bandwagon, and then it's just gonna get overlooked. Like, no, it's actually this. So that makes me wonder with like the McFarlane stuff, like.
Dude,
What
so
if
many of the companies
The
don't
scales were all correct initially.
they don't
but then with
necessarily share
shrinkage-
that kind of info, and it's like, but someone
Yeah.
like Bobby is out there and he like shares tons of stuff,
Yeah.
because it's his own company. He has
Yeah.
the luxury of being
Yep.
able to be like, I'll share. A lot of the bigger companies, that's the problem, is that like, there's so many different people, and it's like who says you're allowed to say that, and it's
Yeah.
like, so it's like it's just corporate-y company stuff, like I know everyone deals with that at their own job.
And it's interesting because I feel like if we knew more of that stuff, that like the collector would be like more understanding. It
Yeah.
could make better decisions, and there'd be like less hate about
this
it
is
all.
this
Like,
is
Yeah.
why do you think that I am just repeating it over and over to you guys? Because I'm like, please don't hate on sizes of these things. So it's
oh,
like,
that looks
you'll
great.
look-
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
next
Yeah.
to Odious, like that's right. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it looks right. It looks like it's in 6-inch scale. And then if you show the other picture with Pandora and the Praetorian, like it's like it might look a little bit big next to the Valaverse stuff. Like I said, it's going to shrink a little bit, but and obviously Pandora is shorter because she's a female character, and then the Praetorian is a little bit taller. So like I think in my opinion, it looks right, and we're going to make these characters look right with 1/12 scale pieces. So
Yeah.
like that's the goal, is that we want these to fit with as much stuff as humanly possible, and they're monsters, they're creatures, they're demons. Like they're not supposed to have the exact same human proportions as everything else. So yeah.
That's a good scale,
like I
though.
said,
That's
I'm
a
probably
perfect scale.
freaking myself out about this way too much, and I should just post all the damn pictures already. But at the same point, I didn't want people to like look at these pictures and just use these pictures to make it like, oh, I don't want these anymore. Like they're too big, or they don't look right with this, And like that's the part where I'm like, I psych myself out.
Hmm.
The other thing too is
Yeah,
because these are original designs, and they're not like humans, they're just like humanoid. Like they can, whatever size you decide they are is what they are in the universe. So like, they can be 4 foot tall, 6 foot tall, 5 foot tall, 10 foot tall, 3 feet tall,
Exactly.
whatever. And that's just you know,
Exactly,
well, the collector will make it work.
These guys
like,
crouch and do everything like crazy.
yeah,
It's like you
yeah,
put them in a crouching pose, and it's like these are going to look perfect with just about
Yeah.
everything. You know, like that's the big idea. Is that like all these, you know, like the poses where I have them in with all these other figures, everyone's standing straight up, and it's like that's rare in, like, you know, in more of an action display or toy photography. It's like you pose things and they look good together, and that's it. John, your question, carded versions. I am one of the, like, I'm an opener across the board. Like I buy stuff and I open everything. Now, I am a sucker when it comes to anything that's retro carded. Like I
yeah,
love that nostalgia of like the old school cards, the reproductions, whether it's, you know, Star Wars, GI Joe, Marvel Legends, like all those, like even the NECA monsters that are on the old retro like
Yeah.
card backs. Like I love that. That's like that's my childhood of walking into Toys R Us or KB and like seeing them on blister carded, you know, on the shelf, on the pegs. So I would love to do that as, like, you know, like we do a paint variant and put it on like a blister card back. Like totally. That would be great.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. Ready to play with these now.
I know, right? I want to have a pose off with Odious.
Heck
So you said, you know, that you're a lot further along and everything. So what would you say? I mean, it's so hard to tell, but like with the average Kickstarter where they're like, you know, they're like, oh, we funded. Okay, now we start the process. I got to find the factory. I got to do this, all that. What I mean, in a generalized sense, not to over exceed expectation, but what?
So
what,
I
what do you
set
think that shaves
so
off on your
in-
time?
In the Kickstarter campaign, it has like our estimated ship date is set
Okay,
for,
actually, I didn't see that.
March of 2006. Now, I set that, and I
2026.
set that using like what our factory like told us would be our timeline,
Yeah,
and I padded it a little bit because I'm like, hey, well, we want these to be perfect. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that there's going to be a little bit of back and forth, and that for us to get these perfect. So I think that is a very reasonable. Like it's like I think we're pretty spot on. In a perfect world, we could potentially beat that. Like that's, you know, like 9 months is a pretty good. Like it's like when I talk to people at work like about a production schedule, we frequently talk about it like it's like having a baby and it's
Yeah.
9 months. So that's kind of reasonable if you're a established company that's working with a factory. The reason why you see a lot of these Kickstarters go beyond a year and sometimes even longer, and, you know, even like the Four Horsemen, sometimes this stuff is going into
Yeah.
almost the 2-year range or whatever. And that's because you're a smaller company and you're working with a smaller factory, and it's about like how many you're producing and wanting to get them right, perfect, and not, you know, no compromises. So it is a little bit of a guessing game when it comes to any of these things. I do feel pretty good in general about our March 2026 estimated ship date, but you know,
Yeah,
obviously the big thing
2026.
is 2006. Yeah, we're gonna travel backwards in time. But in general, like I want to make sure that these are perfect, and I will communicate. Like we've already been sending, you know, we've only been doing this for like a week on Kickstarter now, and I think we have like 6 updates already posted. We will continue to post updates throughout the whole manufacturing process on a regular basis, and then we're going to be posting on Instagram, Facebook, and everything
yeah.
continued through the process. So we will keep everyone aware of what's going on, and if any changes like happen, we will communicate that. You know, like you guys are part of this journey with us. You're helping us to fund this process. You know, like that's the big thing. Like it's like, you know, Bobby is like I respect so much of what he's done, and you know he did that initial, like he had an initial Kickstarter that I think he either canceled or it didn't fund, but then he relaunched. He like figured it out and he did a Kickstarter that was a success. And then from there, he was able to then avoid Kickstarter. And it's like, that's lovely. Like, I love that. That's like,
Yeah.
was very smart as far as the way he reinvested anything and did it all. So like, I mean, like that's my goal as well. Like I would love to be able to do that. It really depends on how popular the stuff is and how it sells and, you know, how we do. But in general, like it's like we have all the desire in the world to continue on and to do these things. And it's like, I would love to avoid Kickstarter. Kickstarter takes fees, man. Like it's like, like that's one of the big things with, you know, Vala selling stuff himself on his own site. It's like he gets to avoid all those fees. Like it's like that's great. It's smart. It's way better. But the positive of Kickstarter is that, you know, you guys found out about us, and so, you know, like it helps with the marketing and getting out there versus us just trying to sell it on thecursedead.com. So, you know, like there's a balancing act. There's a love and hate. It's like, yeah, in a perfect world, I would love to avoid Kickstarter. Do you think Kickstarter projects that screw people over, like Mars Industries and Rob Liefeld, might hurt projects like this? There have obviously been Kickstarters in the past that have not delivered. I've even backed some of them, and that absolutely hurts. It sucks. I'm hoping that because, you know, Phil and I are like guys that have literally spent in, you know, like that's why we say it in the campaign. We've been in the toy industry for decades, that it's like we're not fly by night. We're not going to disappear. You're going to be able to find us. You know, we're putting our faces, our names out there, and again, like we're putting our professional reputations on the line. You know, like if this went bad somehow, that's going to affect our day jobs. Like that's going to affect our livelihood, how we survive. So, you know, I'm hoping that like that buys us a level of trust with everyone, that they're like, hey, you know, like, and Laser Rants, Ryan was very kind with what he said. Like he knows, like I've talked to Ryan since, I think he and I are like pandemic era friends, I believe, like, you know, from like all the different live streams and everything that were going on back then. And he and I had chatted in like, you know, Unparalleled Universe streams or Toy Migos streams.
Yeah.
And I think he helped me get the G.I. Joe Classified Beachhead, the initial release back in the day. That was the Target exclusive. And like Beachhead's one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters. And Ryan hooked me up. Like he helped me. He was able to score an extra Beachhead. So he and I have known each other on the, you know, the toy community boards, or like, you know, the social media for a long time. And you know, obviously he knows that we work in the industry, and him giving us the big thumbs up seal of approval there was very kind of him. And I'm looking forward to doing 3 POA with him and Bobby. You know.
I think that's another helpful thing is when you see people, like the difference between like somebody who just puts together like an AI image and slaps it up there with no prototypes and nothing. You don't ever get to meet the guy, none of that. Where all the ones that I've seen that have been successful, they have, you know, at minimum resin prototypes. They send them off to get reviewed. They have a nice network of people. Everybody knows everybody, and you can feel.
Well, it's also they're giving updates,
1,000%. Yeah,
they're constantly giving updates. Like Brutal Realm, like we had them on. Like they sent their prototype to D Amazing, who did reviews of them. Which was very helpful. You know, like to show off, like to showcase.
I feel dumb for not like I'm friends with Darius. I know D Amazing like from lots of conventions. Like we've hung out. We text each other, but I did not send him the playable prototype, mostly because like. Honestly, I was like a little bit embarrassed by it. It does, like, it still falls apart a little bit, and it's like,
but
like,
it's a prototype, right?
Like, probably would have done it, and he probably would have been like, "You're being stupid." And it's the same reason why I didn't send a ton of our prototypes out to different toy photographers, because it's like, I don't like, it's difficult to take all these pictures and to do all these things. And it's like, I didn't want to just ask favors of everyone, but it's funny because like now people are hitting me up and are like, yo, let's do this. So I'm like scrambling and shipping stuff off and like
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's
But like what Impossible Pie just said right here, you know, like Skylartron took 3 years to get the Roboskull out, but they were constantly providing updates. It's all about the updates, right?
exactly.
Like someone with the Brutal Realm, someone had made I guess made a comment in the chat saying, "Are you going to show anything else but the pictures?" But it was just like, you know, there are live like prototypes out there.
Yeah.
You just have to go to the shows or go find the people or who are posting them because
Yeah.
they're everywhere. Because I've touched Brutal Realm in hand
Yeah.
myself, so
I think I was just
they
sleeping
had
under
they
a
had
rock.
stuff on display at Legion's Con as well.
yeah.
And like we actually, that was we had our playable prototype and the painted prototype of the drinker. Wade Unparalleled Universe had a little table, and he was kind enough to display
At
some-
Legion's
like,
Con?
a little bit of our stuff at Legion's Con. Yeah.
No way. I was at Legion's Con. I was at that table.
Ah, you didn't see our stuff. I'm sad now.
Dude, I have photos everywhere, so I'll find it.
You're gonna have to go through and look. You might you'll see this vampire somewhere hiding in the background of one of your pictures.
Probably. Because he had a big Dio setup, and then he had like different
Yeah.
Odiouses. I remember I was just more focused on the Odious. Yeah,
Of course you were. That's what I mean. Like, it's like you're there for Wade, so like you want to
Well,
see.
I mean, it was my buddy Ish, like who does IshCon. He was right across from Wade, essentially, and that's where I met Nico there too. He was there
Oh, nice.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nico flew out for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I met Nico too. So I was just like, and he was like, "Yeah, I paint," and I was like, "You're so shy about it." Like,
No, Nico is absolutely awesome. I love him. I get to hang out with him quite a bit at different conventions and stuff, and then also because he literally comes in. He's like a freelancer / contractor for Gentle Giant. So
okay.
whenever we are like too busy, like which is frequent, you know, especially around different toy shows, Nico comes in just so you guys know, the reason why he's a contractor is because Nico's a teacher. Like that, his actual full-time day job is he's a teacher. So
wow. Okay.
he comes in the afternoon after school is done for the day, and then he'll work and paint prototypes professionally. So it's like he's a badass, and like he's young. He's in his like 20s, and
Yeah.
I love him. He is the sweetest dude in the universe, and like his work ethic is insane. Like the fact that he's working 2 jobs. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have a question. You might know some insight on this. First, I was going to ask if you know what plastics you're kind of going for with the builds. So you know you got like the different durometers and stuff. Obviously,
So usually, like it's like most action figures are primarily made out of 3 types of plastics, which is like ABS, PVC, and POM. And then there's different durometers. The durometers really come into play mostly with PVC. So it's like they'll do like PVC. So no matter what, like the way you can always tell between the plastics usually is like POM and ABS. Like if you were to take your fingernail and like press your fingernail on POM or ABS, it's not going to budge. Like that's the harder plastic. So ABS is like torsos that trap things or like whatever. Like it's usually like a hollow piece in most cases. POM is like the super crazy strong plastic. So that's what they usually use in like a disc joint or like a pin or something like that. So it's like that can really withstand the crazy torque. And then PVC at the different durometers, that's the one where it's like if you took your fingernail and kind of pushed your fingernail into it, there would be a little bit of give even in the harder durometer PVC. So like McFarlane figures are a lot of PVC. Like there's a lot of PVC on there, and PVC is great because it really traps detail. It takes paint well. And that's why McFarlane, since its inception, a lot of their figures are very heavy on PVC. Some of the downfalls of PVC is that it can be like if it heats up, it'll be a little bit wobbly or something, or like, you know, if you have a figure that's on a shelf and it's hot, it'll start to, you know, do a little bit of that. It needs V8, like it starts to tip or something. So we're going to do with all of that mansplaining about plastics. We're going to do a mix of all of these, and I would like to do a little bit heavier in the ABS lane, but we have so much sculpted detail on our figures that there will be quite a bit of PVC as well. It's gonna be a mishmash, like running through the joints. Like when you look at like the Kickstarter campaign and the exploded version of the figure, like there are like each of those individual elements, like there is gonna be such a different mix of plastics, and like that goes back to the cost of tooling being so expensive, because typically with tooling, the steel tool, they put whatever is the same in there. So if it's made out of the same plastic, because it will be in that same piece of steel that they inject the hot plastic into. And it looks a lot of the time, it looks like a model kit when it comes out of those. With all the different sprues, like when you take a model kit and you have to break off the sprues and everything. So so it's like basically like they shoot plastic down into these steel molds, and then the laborers, the workers, then break it all apart, clean it up, and start to assemble the pieces. So it's a crazy process. Some people share behind the scenes. I think that Vala has actually posted some behind the scenes factory stuff before that is super, super cool. The painting process, I think he's even shared some of that with spray masks, where they literally create like these masks that are it's like a sheet that you place down over an individual element like of the figure, so then they can spray the paint, and it like is a perfect recreation of that paint deco. So it's something that is an amazing process, and like I would love to share a lot of the background images during the manufacturing process. Like, if we get funded with these, I'm going to ask the factory to supply us with behind the scenes images. But a lot of the time what you do is you rely on the factory's expertise, and then you get test shots back from them. You get samples. You get different versions where it's like, hey, this is, they just use whatever plastic they have around. And that's what, like, a lot of the times you'll see like prototypes that are funny colors,
colorful,
all different colors. That's because they're just using whatever plastic they were using to make some other toy to test the molds for your toy. So they'll just shoot it in weird random colors, and then that's your prototype. So you're kind of getting a test to see what that's like. But I would.
And then Hasbro goes, "That's a variant."
And it's fun, and I think that a lot of people do appreciate that look behind the curtain. And
I love behind the scenes.
I personally would like, if we do this, we will be sharing stuff like that in Kickstarter updates over the course of manufacturing for sure.
You want to answer that question or go to that first? Oh, no, it's just a toodaloo.
Thank you, John.
We're going, John. To piggyback off of the plastic question, do you think it's just extra paint application that kind of leads to stuck joints that need to be heated?
100. Okay, I don't want to say 100 because that's too. 99% of the time, yes, it's paint is what leads to stuck joints. You could also have like a mishap, like the stuff. I've seen this happen on a regular basis where it's like insert molded. So like stuff for like either it's a pinless, or which even like ankle joints or wrist joints that are, the disc is in there but you don't see any visible pins or anything. What they do is they actually, so the disc portion of that is in a steel tool that they inject the plastic into. They break those off the sprues, and then they take those parts and they put them into another steel tool, like another mold, and then they inject hot plastic around that. It's usually a different plastic, like, so that way it doesn't stick. But that's what's doing those, like, pinless joints, like anything that's like that style. So you just have to think that like if that first part is not put into the mold correctly, if it's like, you know, off at an angle or twisted or somehow, like, then you can have mishaps that create stuff where it's like, oh, that's a defect of some sort.
Yeah.
You can also run into stuck pieces through sonic welding. So they do a lot of sonic welding in toys and action figures, where they basically are taking a front and back half of a piece and they literally like, it's like freaking magic as far as I'm concerned, but they sonically weld the two pieces of plastic together to trap things. So it's like a lot of the like action figure torso joints are like that. So you'll see a seam around usually the side of a torso, and that's it's trapped together. So when they're sonically welding something to trap that in, there could be a mishap, and you could sonically weld something that's not supposed to be sonically welded. So it's like there's like other places that things can go wrong, but I would say the vast majority of the time is due to tacky paint making joints sticky. And
I guess that makes sense with the paint, because ironically enough, to put it at two sides of the complete opposite price spectrum, the two companies that I can remember that I've never ever had to heat up a joint is a McFarlane figure and a Mafex figure. Now, one is the Mafex has the butter smooth.
Yeah.
The McFarlane has more of the, you can feel the ratchets.
Oh yeah.
But like, because there's not a lot, there's like basically no paint on it. It's all just molded. Yeah. And so are Mafexes, as expensive as they are. It's a lot of just injected colored plastic. I don't know how they just go, you know.
Yeah.
But then everything in between, you know, you have to kind of, most figures you don't have to do stuff with.
Mafex Daredevil was in my top 10 of last year.
Oh
as well.
Yeah, that thing was fantastic.
Oh, Avi, I think your mic is muted. I was like, Avi's being so quiet.
Sorry. The recent Mafex, I heard has been really good, but in the past, like, I'm so traumatized for old Mafex, like where it's like the ragdoll, like holy crap, dude.
Because like I said, I'm old and I've been buying toys my entire life, but like I own them. The initial, like, it was like Christian Bale Batman and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like from when those freaking movies came out, like back in the day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mafex made those action figures, and like they were kind of awful quality wise. Like they were not great at all. And like, trust me, I remember that as well. And now they're kicking ass.
Yeah.
So
like
good
the
for
only
a minute.
So the only Mafex I have today is the boys, and then I have Mira.
All right. Yeah, no, that's a choice.
But I like the older figures. Like I can't get over the ragdoll effect. I can't.
Well, like it's been long enough where you can be fine. I mean, my first one I had was the comic Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that came out. I was probably like 2019, 2020.
The only issues that people ever had with that one is that the wrist joints broke a little bit, but then they've re-released it a bajillion times, and it seems like they've fixed that issue.
Now, to be fair, you it's up to the user. You got to be careful with your wrist joints. I broke the wrist on my.
Those are tiny.
The Mafex Storm, I broke the shit out of her wrist.
Yeah,
but I did it myself. So
Mafex also the first ones to create the magnetic feet?
Because like there were like other companies had done that back, like Toy Biz back in even the 5-inch days did Spider-Man that had like
did they?
hands and feet. I mean, like they're the coolest ones to have done it.
Yeah, I didn't collect toys during Toy Biz was alive, so
that's a good feature.
Magnet hands and feet, because like even I don't know if there's anyone else that's watching that's as old as I am, or but like there were lines like Starcom, which was like these like figures that were they were smaller than 1/18, like not even 3 3/4. They were like 2 to 3 inch figures with like I think they had like 8 points of articulation, but they had these big magnet boot feet, and they had like spaceships that had like magnet parts on them. And they're dope. It was like a really cool toy line from when I was way younger that I loved. But like magnets and anything is like kind of cool. Like magnet. Like I love like some of like there's been Muppet figures in the past with like Fozzie Bear where his hat magnetizes onto his head. And it's like I love stuff like that. Like it's so.
I love now like YOLO Park does it, and a couple other toy lines where they infuse magnets in an accessory piece, like a weapon.
I am a YOLO Park fan, my friend.
I need to get that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they're Transformers.
Where did you get him from?
I ordered direct from YOLOPark.com. Like they have their own store.
Who would have thought?
It ends up not like it seemed like you're like, it's gonna be expensive, but like they have pretty cheap prices themselves, and they're shipping like while it is from overseas, it's fairly reasonable. I mean, like if you wait on YOLO Park until it's on Amazon, that's gonna be the cheapest.
Yeah. I just get impatient.
I'm totally impatient, so it's like I get like I said, I watch a lot of anime, so their Evangelion stuff. I have the Eva Unit 01 that I ordered from them, and I got it like right before Christmas, and that thing's like barely out yet.
Dude, super quick side note, just 2-second tangent, because my anime adventure has only it's like a year or two old. I've only seen a couple. Have you read or watched Solo Leveling?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Dude,
so I watch my big
love
thing is
Solo
watching
Leveling.
anime with my son. And like I watch on my own too, because like I watched anime. My like Robotech, Macross was my intro when I was a child, and then like I've watched anime my whole life. But now that he's like older, like I was watching like Dragon Ball Z and stuff with my son, and like we got through all of like the kind of like big anime like names, and Solo Leveling came up because we have a Crunchyroll subscription, and Solo Leveling came up, and it's like, oh, it's guy fighting portal monster, and we're like, this sounds like right up our alley. We tried it. My son loves it, and there's like a video game.
So there is,
really good too. And season 2 is about to start. But
I think episode 1 just dropped.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. We will likely be watching it soon. Then
I started with My Hero Academia, and then I jumped into Chainsaw Man, and then Solo Leveling, and then I just finished Kaiju number 8.
Nice. Good.
That's all I've watched so
You're
far.
watching some good stuff. Yeah, there's tons. Like, DM me on Instagram at some point, and I'll give you all sorts of a list.
For sure.
I've only watched One Piece live action.
That's cool. That's One Piece live action is like honestly like it's like
it's not an anime.
Family, my son, my wife, we loved the live action One Piece. We had watched a good chunk of the anime like back in the day, but it was like it was before my son had really gotten into anime, so he just recently restarted watching the anime itself. So and there's like over they're getting to close to 2,000 episodes of that. So it's like it's a little bit daunting as far as that goes.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I am gonna. Anything else?
No, I mean like I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm good, guys.
I want to bring the cosmic hashtag back up. Hashtag cosmic to get the chance to win the alien from the Cosmic Legions.
Heck yeah.
Depending where you live, you can see them in the sky now.
Oh, are they still in Jersey?
They may be drones, may not be.
Yeah, exactly. It's air quotes drones.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Tesla having a field day. That's all it was.
Dude, did you NVIDIA just had like a conference, like a little presentation and about the graphics cards. At the very end, it was like a hall of armor. All the different robots just like came up out of the floor. There was like 15 different modeled versions. It was
That's
insane.
so creepy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're living in Skynet, guys. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It is going to happen eventually. AI will take over completely. And
So be nice to it so they remember that you were a good one.
All right, guys. 3, 2, 1. George, congrats. You know,
Nice.
it's funny. Speaking of George, congratulations, George. He's going to be the VIP for next episode because he is a phenomenal diorama maker.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He does good stuff.
So, announcements next week. If I could find it. There it is, next week.
Fight for the prize, oh can't you see? Figures and glory, it's all for free. Step right up, don't be shy. Figure Fight Club, let's aim high. Beat 'em up, bum bum. Beat 'em up, beat 'em up, bum bum.
There you go. So next Friday we have George Reader. Then we'll have another surprise guest who will join in. But Tuesday, the 14th, we will have another episode of Open Mic Night. So that means everyone in the chat is welcome to join.
Come on
Adam,
down.
You're welcome to join too. Open Mic Night.
Heck yeah.
Have some fun.
We are. I want to come back on, but we have literally I have a calendar that I'm trying to keep track.
Sure.
You will be
You're on
seeing
tour.
at least Phil and myself on pretty much every single one of your favorite content creators. Honestly, that's anyone that's watching this. If there is a show or something that you like that you want us to be on, let them know. Hit them up and just
Hot
be
ones.
like, hey, first
Yeah,
day.
go tell them.
Let us. We would love to talk about it with everyone. That's the best way for us to make this happen is by getting as many eyes on this campaign as possible. So
Nice. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
stoked. I'm ready. I'm
I'm gonna likely be putting an order in tonight. So
awesome, much appreciated. Yeah, that's the thing is with Kickstarter, obviously they do not charge you until the end of the campaign. Only if the campaign is successful. So you can go in and you choose your reward, whatever you want that we have available, and they won't charge you. They also, you have until the end of the campaign to change what that is. So if you decide later on down the road, it's I want to add in this character, or it's I just want this guy, you can go in there and change it at any point. So by
didn't even show
putting,
this.
by putting a pledge in
prices.
early, by doing it like now or early, you're just helping us get closer to funding and helping us get closer to unlocking stretch goals.
I mean,
So
just pledge all in, guys.
if you go put in now, there's nothing's gonna hit your credit card now. It would only be charged February 1st, which is Saturday, February 1st. So we got a couple paydays between now and then. And that's it, guys. Get your pledges in early. It helps out everyone because unlocking more toys and making these happen, that's what we all want.
Dude, the drinkers are my favorite, so I love them.
There's a bundle of the drinker 3-pack.
Yeah, the 3-pack. I saw the
Yeah,
3-pack
right
just now. Yeah, but I kind of want all of them and then additional 3-pack because I'm an army builder.
Well, that's,
Trust me, you'll hear stories about my action force.
Well, I just got 5 Pandoras, 5 Arctic Pandoras.
Yes.
So the key, just to give
Doing this
everyone a
one.
little bit of insight in this, the best way to do it is if you do want something like multiples that aren't just available in one of the rewards, find the reward, find the item that has the most amount of items that you want, and you choose that, and then it opens up a second section that's called add-ons. And all of the rewards are also available as add-ons. So it's if you want the 3-pack of drinkers, but you also want the hate and rage bundle that's discounted, get the 3-pack of drinkers, and then you can do the discounted add-on for hate and rage at a discount as well. So you're you can make your own bundles that save you money if you just look through the different reward choices and then do add-ons.
Do it.
One of these.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so just like he was saying, so now you have your add-ons. Yep. So then you go through.
We're all
and
going to
be like,
quickly write down your credit card number.
Yeah. Are you doing it live right now? This recording?
You only see it'll only autofill the last 4.
No, yeah, see, he knows.
See, I need to figure out my Kickstarter login.
Where's
I've
the,
only done it twice.
So then you would add on like the 3-pack, and then you can say you
Yeah.
Abby's gonna want like 5 of these,
Probably.
Yeah,
And then-
do it up.
and then so you do like 1 of those, and then say you want like another like these 2 like you're talking about. You add this up,
Yeah.
and then
I really like the
got-
bigger
gotta
size
have
ones
another
too,
one of
though.
those.
I know a lot of people have been talking about like wanting the 2-ups, and like I said, it's not off the table. Like it's something that we could potentially do. It's just not in this initial wave 1, unless it goes gangbusters. If we get like a McFarlane level Kickstarter where all of a sudden, like this is very unlikely, guys, but like if it were to be like that level of success, then I can afford tooling up a 2-up of this thing. But otherwise, it's like that is basically a brand new giant figure that we would have to make. Which,
Yeah.
while cool, is expensive, and we'd have to hit factory minimum order quantities. It's like there's a whole lot to it where it's like that adds up, and like we want to focus on the 1/12 scale figures first. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
I want to attack Winford's question. It's going to be a link in the chat, Winford. So whenever you log into the chat, you'll see a link. You can click the link. It's going to take you on to the internets, whatever you use, honestly speaking. And then you don't have to download anything. You just log in. It'll be a guest. It's going to be a guest spot. It's an open to mic night. So we will just. I'll see you down there. Where Adam is.
The only thing you need is, if you want to stand up on camera, is pants. It's the only thing you need.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Please
not
wear
standing.
clothes. Wear clothes. If
That's
you
it.
wanna, we prefer you to share your camera. Make sure your audio is working really well. And then that's pretty much it. It's
We'll
fairly
give you
simple.
15 seconds to figure it out.
I mean, we won't kick you. We'll remove you off the camera, like off the screen, but then we can bring you back, right? So,
Yeah.
but it'll be fun. Like we had a pretty successful open night, mic night. The first episode just happened last Tuesday. So that was fun.
Only if you stand up. Only if you stand up.
Yeah. I mean, you can wear whatever you want. We don't judge.
And I think Roll Keeper meant to have a T in there, but also meant to have the Y. So he is saying panties.
Oh yeah. Well,
He has
I
to
mean,
wear
you,
panties.
you don't have
no,
to.
it's you get to wear panties.
No, he meant pants.
Oh, fair. That's fair.
You don't have to wear pants. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
That's
guys.
cool.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, thank you for having us on to talk about this. Like, that's what we're trying to get the word out.
Yeah.
And the big thing besides just supporting the campaign is sharing stuff, like getting
For
more
sure.
eyes on it. So we've been encouraging anyone that is a backer or just likes this stuff to, go on social media, find one of the posts that you like that we've made, and share it in your IG stories, or share it Facebook group, share it in a Discord, because you never know who's going to see it for the first time and be interested. And like, that's what we need. We need to get the word out, and we need to get as many people to know about this toy line. And if they're interested, throw in for a figure, or, if you want to go all in, even better. But, if there's just one you like, if you want Gordy for your Halloween display or Crankle for your Christmas display, cool. Every bit helps. So, yeah, and everyone that's sharing, much appreciated. That's huge to us. And, yeah, thanks to everyone also that has supported us, and thanks for having us on shows like
No,
this. Like,
thank you very much.
like,
When are you going to be on
supporting us talking
Ernie's
toys in
show?
general. Yeah.
When are you going to be on Ernie's show?
Ernie's. So I'm on the Figure Fight Club / the Fallen Fett Chronicles on this coming Wednesday. But
This
I think
Wednesday?
we're-
Okay.
yeah,
I'm going to show up.
we have shows like
In the chat.
literally. I think we have some of them are pre-recorded and some of them are live streams. But I think I have the day off tomorrow, which is nice.
Yeah.
But then we have something on Sunday, and then literally every day next week.
Every
and
day.
then we're booked.
I mean, there's 22 days left, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
Yeah.
idea. Like Phil and I were like, you know what? We're gonna be exhausted. We're gonna feel very repetitive in what we say because we will have said it to like multiple times, but we have to remember that this is someone's first time seeing this every
Yeah.
time. So, that's it. Like we're trying to make this reality. So we're
Feels
putting
like
in the
the
work.
first time.
Exactly.
But again, congratulations for even
Yeah.
launching this.
Just to
This
be able
is
to,
awesome.
yeah, to
Yeah,
do
Yeah.
it,
it's off to a really nice start. I think we're either at or really close to a third of the way to our goal, and it's only been 1 week. We have 3 weeks left. So in 1 week, we got a third of the way to the goal.
That's
So
amazing.
like that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's gone up every time I've refreshed to the page. It's gone.
That's
a
even
good
better.
sign.
Yeah.
Keep ordering, guys. Again, thank you very much, Adam. This was awesome. I will be making my order later on tonight.
Awesome, thank you, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen you quite a few times on the interwebs thus far, and it's nice to finally get to hang out with you for a little bit. And then Brandon, meeting you for the first time, I'm gonna make sure that if I don't follow you already on Instagram, that I will fix that and
Sweet.
follow you immediately.
To Illustrated Figs.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're gonna have to talk anime ideas in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think
All right, guys.
part of people's journey is figuring out like what type of anime consumer are you? Like, what do you like? Because there's a
Yo,
lot of
that's-
weird
There's
stuff.
so much stuff out there.
It's funny because
Yeah.
Avi was just talking about Ernie, and Ernie also never watched anime, and he started watching this, like the one that I just got one of the figures of, Dan to
Uh-huh.
Dan,
Yeah.
and like that was his first anime. This anime is weird as fuck, man. I would
Yeah.
never. Like, it's like I really like it. It's a really good anime.
I
It's
like
about
weird.
like a
Yeah.
high school boy and a high school girl that are like, the high school girl is obsessed with like ghosts, and the high school boy is obsessed with aliens. And then they're like, the girl is popular, the boy is a nerd, and then they like kind of like hang out together and like each other, and then they're like fighting aliens and ghosts, and it's weird as fuck. And like there's a lot of like dick jokes and stuff. It's so weird, but it's like that's what Ernie watched for the first anime, and I'm like,
That's awesome.
that is a weird one to dip your toes in.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's like diving into the deep end in the weirdest way possible.
Yeah.
how
yeah.
is Chainsaw Man though?
Chainsaw Man is, I think it's awesome. It's
Is it
definitely
appropriate
more
for
adult,
kids?
but it's weird. It's
No,
definitely a
no.
fucking
No.
weird one.
No.
I
care.
would say. I would say.
So my 8-year-old is
I have not
like
shown
learning
Yeah,
learning
my
about
son is
anime.
11, and I have not shown him Chainsaw Man yet, and I don't
It's
know
pretty
that
brutal.
I am going to.
Is it? Okay.
like.
But
It's
I
very
have
violent.
I've shown him like some of the other ones that are a little bit more questionable, like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, that are like
Yeah.
violent. But like Chainsaw Man is like violent, and like Chainsaw Man himself
Hyper-violent.
is obsessed with grabbing boobs. So it's like
Yeah, he's like super pervy,
Yeah,
which is
it
funny.
depends on
That's
if you
that's my
want
younger. That's
to
my
be
5-year-old.
obsessed
He's super
with grabbing
pervy.
boobs.
My 5-year-old
They-
is ridiculous.
I think you just have to
dude.
worry about them. Like, would they be like have nightmares? Like, would they be
Nightmares,
scared? It's kind of
'Cause,
like
Yeah.
the younger.
Like that's what I was a little bit worried with my son with like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, because it is
yeah.
like they're both like kind of like Demon Slayer is obviously demons, and then Jujutsu Kaisen is fighting curses, which are also basically demons.
Okay.
That's why they'll also work really. Both lines would work really well with cursed dead figures, but they are a little bit gory. But I think that they're both a little bit more friendly than
Okay.
Chainsaw Man as far as
I mean, my son, I guess, heard about Chainsaw Man because he was like, "Oh, I know Chainsaw Man." I was like, "Where?" Because you don't watch this shit at
danger
home.
is Chainsaw Man looks dope. Like the SHF,
Yeah.
like the figure arts figure, is
Yeah,
an amazing toy.
I
Yeah.
want it,
I
and
have
I
this
don't
design.
know of it.
Yeah,
So
he's
It-
cool.
it
yeah.
is the articulation on it is fabulous, and like
And it
the
hurts. It
design
like
of
hurts your
Chainsaw Man.
fingers.
Yeah.
is it,
sharp as shit.
is it metal?
It is. It would.
It's plastic, but
It's
it's
stabby.
pointy.
It's
yeah.
stabby. It's one of those
It's
McFarlane style figures. Then
Yeah.
yeah, I get that for sure. Again, Adam, thank you very much, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you for having
Good
me.
luck
This was fun.
on the Cursed Dead. That vamp is my favorite. I'm gonna buy it.
That's
Thank
so
you.
Good.
Peace out, chat. We'll see you next Tuesday for open mic night. There's his new logo right there. Bubbles.
As we wrap up tonight's fun, the figures in talk, so we've just begun. Join us next time for thrills anew. In the world of Figure Fight Club, it's all for you. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. See you next week on Figure Fight Club, stay strutting. This isn't goodbye, it's just a see you later. In the meantime, go check out another creator. So keep your figures on display until we gather here someday. Remember the tales and the laughs we shared. Here at Figure Fight Club, you're treasured and cared.